I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, my screen is visible.
Yes,
Yeah, okay. So, can I start?
yes.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Rangel, and we are here to discuss about the basics of HTML and CSS language. So, this is my second lecture, and in the previous lecture, we have covered what is HTML, basics document of HTML, essential tag, and creating the first HTML page. So we will quickly covering the previous session, and after that we will be going towards the today session also. So what is the HTML? HTML stands for the hypertext markup language. The hypertext means the things which are directly directed to others. The markup means the things which are enclosed the this type of brackets, the angular brackets, and the language you all know in which you are trying to create your web page or not. Now, what is the basic structure of the HTML? The HTML has the layer by layer structure. First of all, the basic structure is HTML. After that, we have the head tag and the body tag. Within the head tag, we have the metadata, title, and many other things which are related to the our web pages. And within the body, we are basically doing what the images, paragraph, the heading, the IMG, the source, and the many other things that we want to show to our client are placed under the body tag. What are the essential tags which are we are using in the HTML tags? The essential tags are set to the heading tag, such as the H1 to H6. H1 has in the very great font, very large font, and H6 is the smallest. What is the paragraph? Such as you want to make the you have to write the some content within the form of the English language or the mathematical or any other things. So you can use the paragraph tag. Within that paragraph, I have told you that we are using the lorem. What is the lorem? Let's see here. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, this is the lorem tag. If we want to preview this tag, preview this page. So this page will be look like this. This is H1, this is H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. The lorem tag, the paragraph tag. After that, we have discussed about the what is the anchor tag. Anchor tag will be redirecting towards the what the link you have given that. Suppose in this anchor tag, I have given the link of the Google www.google.com. And after that, we have write the Google. So when you hover over this text, it will take the headline structure, and when you click on it, it will redirect it to the Google like this. Okay. So after that, we have also discussed about what is HTML. What is the bold, italic, underline tag? The bold tag, the bolder text, the italic, which will make the your text slide wise like this, and the underline, like the U, it will make the line under your text. Now, what are the things we will be covering in this session? So, just a minute. Yeah. In this session, we will be discussing about the HTML elements and the attributes. After that, we will be talking about the HTML list, HTML tables, HTML forms, and we will be starting our session with the help of now. Now, before starting with the HTML attribute, element list, table, forms, etc., I will like to start our session from document object model. So, what is the document object model? The everything that you see on your web page, this is all are the object. This like when you open this Google window. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, yeah. You are opening this Google window. What does this Google window shows to you? This is a window, and in this window, everything is the object. Now, this window contains the browser object model, document object model, browser object model, which is written as the BOM. What is this? This contains everything as the object, such as the history object, navigation object. The history object, which will be showing you the history from where you come from and from where you are going to. The navigation object will be giving you the path, such as the div. Within div, the H1. Within the H1, there is the sibling of the paragraph, and within the paragraph, there is an anchor tag, bold tag, italic, and the underline. Now, everything is the object. Then there is a object known as the document. The document, this is the document object model. Now, what is the document object model? The document object model is the tree-like representation of our web page. Everything is the object. The window only knows what is the DOM. It doesn't know about your JavaScript. It doesn't know about your CSS and any other thing. It only knows the HTML. Now, in this, now if I want to copy this code and place it here and putting it here. Now, so we know that what will be the output of this, the H1 tag, and there's the paragraph. Yeah, you can see here. What if we want to make the document object tree of this? The document object tree of this is just like this. You can see here the document. First of all, we have in the document. The document is the most head level, the head of the tree, or the we can see that the very higher position. After that, within the HTML, we have the title head. The head, we get a branch named as head. Within the head, we have the title DOM example. You can see here within the head, we have the example of a DOM example. Now, within the head, we have a sibling of a other child. This child is known as the body. Within the body, there is the H1 and there is the P. You can see here, there is H1, there is P. Now, within the H1 and the T, we have some type of the content. That content is hello world, and this is a paragraph. This is basically the document object model of this code or of this web page. The document object tree looks like this. Yeah, like this. Okay. Now we will be discussing about basically how this tree look like. Yeah, we will be discussing like this. I have told you that there is a document. After that, there is the HTML, the head, and this sibling body. Within the head, title, metadata, and many other things that you want to add. Within the body, there are the different types of the tags, such as H2 tag, P tag, table tag. Within the H2, what is the document, what is the content? Within the P, what is the content? Which table? We are having the yeah, we are having the TR, TD, table, and many other things. Now, this is about the document object model. This is the basic definition and the basic understanding about the document object model. Now we will be discussing how we will be accessing this type of the document object model. We get every element such as the T tag, table tag, and many other things. How we will be accessing it within the HTML, we cannot access it, but in the CSS and the JavaScript, we can access it with the help of like the ID, the class, and by some features that such as on click and document dot get element by ID, get element by class name, and the query selector, which we will be discussing in our further series. So, for giving you such example like this, for this the document object tree, and for this we are accessing a element which ID is a greeting. Which ID is greeting? You can see here. H1 ID is greeting, and we are accessing this element by the help of document element by ID of greeting. And the in HTML, what we have right within it? We have the hello world. And we are writing this hello world within this. We are changing it now. So we know about how we can access the document object model. Now we will be discussing about we will be manipulating this. For the manipulation of this, we will be writing another thing, such as we are selecting a particular tag and we are giving a new value to it dynamically. You have you can see in this we are selecting a tag which having the class my element. And within that tag, we are setting its value as a new H20. This is a JavaScript code. We will be discussing these type of code in very detail in our further series. Now you can just understand that we can select a particular tag. We can make the focus of our within a particular element by accessing it with the help of the ID, the class name, and by the query selector, and putting the value is the manipulation of that tag. But getting that value is the accessing of that DOM. And if we want to draw the document object tree, we can draw it like this. Now, we will be starting with HTML elements and HTML attributes. Now, what is the HTML element? The HTML element is the building block of anything. What does the building block means? Such as this, the paragraph. Now, we are coming here. I will be reading everything. The boilerplate code, putting the exclamation mark and then enter. We get this. Now, if we write here only a paragraph and then Lawrence, this is the simple attribute we can get. This is a simple element, sorry. This is a simple element we can get. A P, this is element. And what if we want to add an image within that? IMG, the image tag containing this source and this attribute. This is the attribute, means the source. Within source, I will be adding image.png. You can see here, the image.png is here. And what is this? Alternate means. The alternate means if that image doesn't load, what will it show? The user which is seeing your web page must know that here is the image or this is not showing. So if I write loading here, then this is not showing here. When will it show? Then when the source of this image is wrong. You can see I have make a gap within that URL of the image. Then it is showing the loading. What if I remove this loading? It will remove. What did I say? This is the Google image. This is the Google image. You can see here. This is the Google image. This is showing. And what if I want to, yeah, what if I remove this space? This image is showing to us. This is the elements. Now we are discussing about what is the attribute of this thing. The attribute containing this type of thing. The attribute equals to, and there is something within a double quote. Now, the any element which you are seeing having a equal to sign and having a equal to sign and something within a double quote, then this thing is said to be a attribute corresponding to that type. Okay. So, guys, you have any question regarding this? Hello.
No.
Okay. Now the attribute thing is clear. The element thing is clear. Now we are going towards the HTML table. What does this table mean? The table basically means we are storing our values in the form of the row and the column. How we will make the table? Just writing table. The table is created? No, basically table is not created. We are just tell the browser that within this tab we are going to create a table. What does the table contain? The table contains something heading. The table contains something data. What does the table heading means? PH. The table heading tag. And what does another thing means? The data, T body. Anything that's the data containing is in the T body. What does this mean? This means the heading of our table within enclosed within the T header tag. The T if yeah if we want to make a new row within our table, we are using the tag tr. The tr tag the tr tag will be giving a new row. A new row will be made with the help of the tr tag. If we want to make a three column within that tag, a tr containing, if you want to add a particular value, you will be using two things, th and td. Th means table heading, td means table data. So we can already know this is the heading. So we will be using td. What does td means? If I write td, name, yeah, you can see here. This is name. This is the td. Td means table data. Now we will be seeing what is the difference between td and th. I have write th, name. So you can see here Guys, please focus. This is the thing. You can see a TH data is bold. TD data is by default unbold. So the heading which we are making in our table, we will be making with the help of TH. Now there is a shortcut for making the multiple columns. TH. Suppose you are going to make three columns, three, and what the default value you want to get in it? T A B L E table heading. Yeah, you can see here the table heading is created here. Now, what I want to do here, I want to get the name of the particular user, the name of a particular user. Uh, Sorry, the name of a particular user. What do you want? The age of a particular user. Age of a particular user. What you want here? The mobile number of particular user. MOBILE mobile number. The mobile number of the particular user. So this is the heading type of thing. Now, within the table body, we basically know that we will be using the TR tag and the TD tag because TR for the table row, TD for the table data. TR tag, TD. The same thing, we want to get the three TDs, we get three TDs. The name, ANUJ Anuj. The name is Anuj. What is the age? Suppose the age is 20, it is 20. What does this mean? The mobile number. Mobile number 100000. This is containing a mobile number. And if you want to make some replications or you want to add some new value to it, you can simply do TR, a new TR will be created, TD cross 3, you, Anuj. After that, Anuj, ABHUR, Abhay, and his age 30, his mobile number, anything. And you want to add one more row. So we can do it. TD, Sam, PD. What's the age? Suppose the age is 15 and mobile number. The mobile number is, and again we are doing it. Now, this is the table that we wanted to create here. Now, this is sometimes it seems the such the hotspot data. If we want make some separations within the data, we can do here table. If we want to make a border. So, yeah, you can see here that the lines within the table we got. There is the various type of the styling which we use in a table. We will be learning in the when we will be learning about the CSS kind of thing. So the table thing is created. Okay, the table is created. Is it a note of table? You will be getting here. Yeah, there is something very important we are going to discuss here. Suppose we want to add a particular column which will be taking the space two or more columns, then we will be using call span. You can see here, I am using the call span within the corresponding to the Anush tag. If we are using the call span of two, you can see there it contains, it takes the space of name and age, which will be two. What if I write here three man? Oh wow, it will take the three column space. We cannot increase the value because we only have the three headings. Now we will be changing it as it is. Now there is something row span also. Suppose I want to the row span which is same. The column span taking the value of the two or more columns. The row span will be the taking the value of the two or more rows. Row span three. Yeah, you can see here. We cannot use three here. We can use two here. Yeah, you can see here it will be taking the value of the two rows and it will be adjusted automatically. So if we want to use the value which can take the value of two or more columns or the two or more rows, we can automatically be taken with the help of the row span and the column span. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the HTML list. What does the HTML list contain? Suppose we will be discussing about what is the list. The list means the line separated content of a particular value. Suppose I want to here be an a banana, and after that I write to here a double P any apple. Then it will be taken like this, and we have the solution for this. The BR tag this here, and we cannot use this capstring. Suppose we have the 100 lines of the data which we want to store in the form of the list. Then we cannot use the BR tag, BR, the 100 time, 99 time. So what does we do? We make the list. Okay. Now we come to our nodes. And we start off two types, the ordered list and the unordered list. What does the ordered means? The ordered means this there is something ordered. What does the ordered basically means? The ordered basically means it has in the one, two, three, four, A, B, C, D, small a, small b, small c, small d, capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Something like this. We get something, the value corresponding to the list. And what does the unordered means? The unordered means the thing such as the bullet mark, square, the circle. Now we are going to create the ordered list. Ordered list is created by OL. Ordered list is created LI simply by 3. And I am going to create this BA and A. So you can see that the by default value of this thing is 1, 2, and 3, the numeric value. I want to change here. A double P L orange, orange. Yeah, this is the ordered list. Suppose I want to make the unordered list corresponding to this with the same values which we are entered within that. Yeah, one more thing that if we want to add a particular value to the list, we use the li tag. The li tag basically represents the list values. This is opening tag. This is closing tag. Closing tag that closing tag contains this, the backslash. Now in the UL, I want to create the three. No, we will be creating five lists. Having the simpler value BANA. Yeah, what you see, you can see here there is a dot. So we can say that the by default value of this thing is dot. Basically, this is not dot. This is the disk-like structure. It's double PLE, apple, orange, orange, car, and right. Now I will be showing that how we can change this type of order and this type of unordered list. So in the ordered list, if we type here type, is it full? If we want to make the alphabet, yeah, you can see here it's take the small alphabet, a small c, small b, small a. What if I want to add another element within that? And now I will be adding. Yeah, you can see here that the value of this automatically incremented. What if I write here a small capital A? Oh wow. Capital A gives the values capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. Now, what if I want to get a Roman values? Oh, capital I, the Roman values we got, the small Roman values. Wow, we can make the iterations, changement within the ordered list. Now, if we want to make the changes in the unordered list, the same thing, type equal to this. I said to you, this is this by default. What if I write here square? Square. Yeah, good. So circle, the hollow circle, we can get here. And the same thing, if we want to remove this, I remove that. You can see here, the element is deleted. What if I paste it again? It will be automatically implemented. Now the question arises, can we make the ordered list within an unordered list or the unordered list within that ordered list? Yes, we can do that. This is named as nesting. Nesting, Nesting. Now I am going to create the list. Yeah, this is the ordered list. And within the ordered list, I am going to create the unordered list with this. See? Okay. Yeah, 1 minute. Right? Yeah, you can see here, this is the unordered list. And same thing, we can change the type here. Type is equal to this, like this. Okay. So these are the things corresponding to the list. Now, what is the next thing we are going to discuss in today's lecture? In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the form. What is the form? Basically, the form means the values which we want to get from someone else and we want to store in our database, in our system, and any other thing. For creating the basic form, we have to use the tag me form. This takes the action by default. The action is get, the action is buy, post, but now we will not taking any action within that. Okay, what does the form contains? Form contains the basic element, the label, and some input from the user. What does the label means? The label means you want to give some type of the hint to the user that what kind of value you want to store within that. I write your name. So after name, what I have to do? Input. For getting the input from the user, we can type INPUT. After that enter, the by default it will take the text. What does this means? The input type is equal to text. It means you can type anything here regarding anything, any alphabet, any name, anything. Okay. Now, what if I want to get the age from the user? For getting the age, first of all, we have to create a label. The label is for the age. Yeah, nice. Within that, the age, what do you want to get? The age is never the text. The age contains only number. Then basically the input type should be number. Input type should be number. Yeah, you can see here. These are numbers. If we want to store the alphabet kind of thing, we cannot type. I am typing the N. We cannot do this. Yeah, you get this type of the arrow operators. On clicking on that, you can increment the value. On clicking on the down arrow, you can decrement that value. Now you can get to know the input types, the number, it's not only number within that. Now, if you want to change the line, we basically use BR tag. Yeah, that's it. Another BR tag. The styling part, we are not going to cover in this session. The styling part will be covered in the next to next session or to the next section. Now, I want to get some type of the radio buttons, like the storing for the gender kind of thing. Then we are going to take the label for what? The label is for the gender. Yeah, 1 minute. Gender. For the gender, we are going to create a label. Input type. INPUT. Input type. Three types of input type we want to get radio. By control D, we can select the multiple things, and by selecting this, we can also write it here. RADIO. Oh wow, I got different types of the labels here. What if I want to here? Male, female, trans. Yeah, we got one. Oh, we get something that we can select. We are selecting the three at a time. What if we just want to select only one? Now we can use different the new attribute. This is the name attribute. The name attribute, the name attribute here, the name attribute here, and the name attribute here. What if I write simply the name here, name, on the same thing? Now we will be seeing that What happens? Oh wow. We can see in this by defining this attribute name and giving the similar value to this, we can get the functionality that only one element of the radio can be selected at a time. If we are selecting a different element, then it will be changing its value by default. So wow. Now if we want to get the checkbox types of thing, the checkbox again, label, label, CHCK, UX, we are getting the checkbox. We are, we are, again we are. Yeah. Same thing I will be doing here. Input type is equal to checkbox. So now we get it here. We cannot, we will be not using the name and ID here. What if we want to make the more checkboxes, more checkboxes, more checkboxes? And within that, I want to get apples. The checkbox corresponding to apple, the checkbox corresponding to banana, the checkbox corresponding to car, and checkbox corresponding to water. Now, we are type, we are type, 1 minute, we are type, we are type, and we are type. Now you can see here, we can select the multiple value at time. If we want to give the functionality to select only one checkbox at a time, we will be using name here also. By pressing Ctrl and Alt by the arrow up and arrow down key, you can use the multiple cursor in the VS Code. Name is equal to name. Now, see whether we get that functionality. No, we cannot get this functionality because of the checkboxes. So, this type of the name functionality applicable only in the radio boxes. Now, let's see what are the next thing we have to discuss. Yeah, text area, select drop down, and the submit button. Yeah, we will be discussing here. What does the checkbox mean? In the form, you can, if you have to store your address, the store, by the storing the address containing a lot of character, the 100, 200, 300 of the character. For that, I am creating input type is equal to text area. Now, 1 minute. Yeah, text area kind of thing. We are not using input types. We are just using the text area as a tag. After that, I have to write here what address, ADDRESS, address. Yes. So, yeah, you can see here we can increase its height, decrease its height, anything that we want to get, we can get it here. What if I started writing here? If I want to start writing, we can write the many number of letters. Yeah, you can see here when the content of this paragraph increases to its length, exceeded by its length, it automatically incremented, and we get something like this. Yeah, get this thing we get, this kind of thing, this kind of sidebar. Now, again, we come to our window. Now, what does the submit means? INPUT. You have seen the submit buttons in the your form. How it will be made? INPUT. Type is equal to submit or the submit. You get the submit button here within this thing. And if you submit, the page reloaded. If you submit, the page reloads. Another kind We can make the submit button with the help of button tag. We use double tier one button tag. Within the button tag, anything that you write. Suppose you write sign up. You can get a button corresponding to the sign up, and it will be having same functionalities. The button, again the button. Login, yeah, you can see here. Again, we can get login kind of things. Now we have to check what are the next thing we have to know. We have to know about the drop down and the select tag. Now we are going to select this thing. The select tag, within select tag, what we have to make within the select tag, yeah, 1 minute. In the select tag, we use the ID and the name. I will tell you what is ID, what is name, a short time after. Which kind of language? L-A-N-G-U-A-V-E. You want to get the select for the language. What the you got? Op- Option value. What value do you want to get? Hindi. Hindi. Why it's not working? Yes, so maybe we are giving student account. No. Yeah, maybe because of this thing. I don't know. No, I don't know why I'm unable to get this. I will get to know. I will get to know this thing in the next class. So, guys, if you have any question, you can ask me. Hello?
No, Pranjal.
Yeah, okay. Oh, so 1 minute. We got to know what we are doing. We have supposed to pass the ID here and the name here by default. Suppose like this. I have
After 40
sent to
minutes,
me one.
actually rejoin with the same link which I have provided in the group section. Start.
Yeah, okay. Just a minute. Yeah, guys, welcome back. So we are struggling with the select tag. What if I got the solution? What if I want to add the new value to it? The new value. Hindi, English, Urdu, and one. So if we are selecting this, yeah, you can see it. If we are selecting this arrow, we can select any language from this. Spelling, yeah, yeah, you can select any language from this, anything, and Hindi also. Now, I am quickly revising the session, and after that, we will be binding up. Now, what we learned in this session, we learned about the IMG tag. IMG tag having the attribute source and the alternate source containing the source of the image. Alternate, the thing which works when our image doesn't load. What does the table mean? Table means the tabular format of the value, which containing the row and the column kind of view. It contains the two parts, the TH, the TD. The TH part, the TH means the table head and the table body. The table head containing all the headings, such as like this, and table body containing the values corresponding to that the heading. We learned today about the ordered list and the unordered list. Ordered list containing the numerical values and the alphabetical values, and the unordered list containing the circle, check, circle, disk, squares, many more. we have created and learned what is the form. The form labels, the label means for what you are going to take the input from the user, just to giving the input to the user. The input tags have the very type of the attributes. We can access with the help of the type. The type can be text, type can be number, type can be radio, type can be checkboxes. And with the help of the name attribute, you can restrict the functionalities of the input type is equal to radio, in which you can select only one option that you are given to that. After that, we have discussed about the text area. The text area kind of thing you are using in the address where you have to store the lot of content within that. In the input types is equal to submit, you can get a submit button within that. Or you can also create a button with the help of the button tag, and you can take the user defined value, or you can put the various values such as signups, login, page, sectors, and other things. With the help of the select and we can get a drop down just like this. You can get a drop down subject like this. You have to just use the select, the ID, and the name. After that, you have to give some options values to this. So this is all from my side. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Do you have any questions, or can I stop?
No, no, no questions.
Okay, thank you.
No questions. Wonderful presentation and explanation also.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Vedant, are you here?
Okay, brother. So, Rudransh, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible and
Am I visible?
Yes, presentation is also visible. This time you can start.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. In my last sessions, I have discussed about I discussed about the Node.js installation and the Node.js introduction. There I discussed about how to write a simple set of statement in Node.js and how do you run those statements, particular statements. So today I'm gonna start with the now today I will be giving the introduction about modules and how an introduction of modules, and I will be elaborating more on packages, and even I will be explaining you that how we can start how we can use npm commands to start up that you can say start up the script, and I will be telling you more about scripts, what are the scripts and how does the script works. So that is the most crucial things till now, and in the future sessions also we will be discussing about modules, packages, and many more things are there. But today I will be discussing just about how to simply run your you can say command, and while running your command, what kind of challenges you are facing. Actually, many of the times it is possible that when we run a command, it is not possible for us to when we there are many kinds of errors that we used to face, and you can even also see that at many of the channels we are not showing you of this thing, that what kind of errors a simple programmer can face when you are in a beginning mode. So let's start up with this session. So this is my this is my screen that might be visible to you. Okay, so here what the first we have to do, what I did earlier, I just created a file name.js, and after creating us that simple file, I had installed some packages that in that add the name of packages.js1. Okay, that is JavaScript object notation always. So while installing those packages, I have been introduced. You can see the name, version, main. Although I have discussed all these things, but today I am showing you that how it is working properly. Okay, so what does this? So I have just uh, so I've installed all my packages, and how the packages were installed. I told in the previous session that when you are moving towards your JS1 file, actually when you are moving your when you are you can say working with your JavaScript file, then you have to create the packages of your JS1. And while this, you just have to simple enter at the terminals while using npm init command. Npm init is a simple command like we use in GitHub and Git, like Git init, like that Rudransh was telling you in some last GitHub sessions. So that is a very simple command, npm init, and all these packages would be are ready to install in your Node.js. And the crucial thing is that the Node.js should be running at your backend. That means you have to install Node.js as well. Okay, so at the backend part. Okay, so that was the basic introduction I can say over there. So now you can see over here that you are having a simple, you can say my at my screen, that you are having there are packages of JavaScript object notation. Packages of JS1 are there. So here first it is written name is a file file of JavaScript part 1. Then it is also implementing, it is also indicating the version number, that what kind of version I have been installing at JS1. And main, that is the name of my file as well. Okay, then actually its name, the main is my name of the file, and name is the folder that which I have stored my file. Okay, so don't get this confused. Okay, so that's all clear. And below debug, it has been written scripts. Now this is the most crucial part that we are coming across to learn the simple, very basic parts of Node.js. Sometimes we ignore these things because we are focusing more on larger parts, that what kind of modifications we do. But these are very simple parts we should know to avoid such kind of errors. And even in interviews, people ask you that these small things, because because we are working in industry startups, uh, there are situations where you can face these kinds of things, and how to debug it I will be showing you. Okay, so let's talk about these things. We can say it has been written author, license, description. Below you can see that you can see my terminal. See what I did when I was running up my code. You can say, okay, I have these are the snapshots of my code. Okay, when I was running my code, I used a command known as npm start. So npm is a inbuilt command. You can say a node package manager that manages all your packages of your node. I've told you earlier also. So I have used the command as start. See, the start is a very standard and optimized way to start your command. So when you move on, when you click like npm start, and when you enter, then these all then your file name has been displayed on your terminal screen, and it will be showing you as well. So there's no problem over there. But now you can see over here, at because it is my personal computer, like users Acer documents note. This is on my PC. I've written this code because that is the reason it is showing like that. So okay, so there I have to start npm start. So there I've started my command. So npm start. But you can say it should be showed like so it should be visible as like my simple name of the file, and what kind of code I have executed. Actually, those who have attended my last session, or have seen my video on YouTube, they've seen that I have done the besides packages.js, and I've created one more file that is named as name.js, and that is showing as a main. That is my main file. So there I have used one statement as console.log, and that is a simple printing statement everyone knows in the JavaScript. And inside that statement, I wrote my name, that is Vedant Shukla. So I wrote my name as Vedant Shukla over there. So it should be visible like my name of my file has been displayed, and what kind of statement I'm printing has been displayed. But as you can see, there is one error, and we have to debug this error, that it is showing an npm error. So there's npm error. What is this npm error? So it is asking me, did you mean one of these npm star hash mark mark your favorite packages, or npm to see a list of scripts. Npm starts the packages marked as favorites. Npm a compute log of this run can be found in my this is my user this is my the location where I have stored my folder. Okay, location, this is the location of my folder, and my file is inside my folder. Okay, so what kind of error is this? Might I have used any wrong command? No, I have used a very accurate command, but then also it is showing a piece of it. So you can guess it what why I'm moving with this kind of error. So then again, you can say the okay. Now this is the second part of my session, my presentation. See, over here again it is showing error. So let me you can say disclose this mystery that why I was getting an error. I was getting an error because I wrote like npm start. I wrote like npm start. Okay, but one thing you can see over here that when I was writing npm start, inside the scripts I haven't you can say I haven't you can say marked my start. That I see in the scripts also we have to do some modifications, but I haven't did any modifications. And you can simply see in your packages.js1 folder, packages.js1 file, that I have just I haven't did the modification of start. If I'm using any kind of command, see npm is a standard command, instant build command, but when we are using any you can say modified command, for example, we write any programming languages. For example, let's talk about our javascript as well. So at that javascript okay, at that javascript file, uh, we used to there are some primitive data types. So we use data types to declare any variable. For example, var x, or let y, like, or const. But in packages.js, well, we not use those variables. Actually, what I need to say that we have to define something that when we are writing something. For writing a piece of code, it is a simple, it's the first fundamental of any code, that if you are writing any part of the code, you have to define something that define that inside your scripts as well, or in your file. But I haven't did that. Okay, so that is the reason I was coming up with an error. But again it is showing an error. Okay, again it is showing a piece of an error, that is npm start. It is showing, see, again I use npm start, and again the same piece of errors can be visible, you can to you. Okay, okay, and then you can see these
Vedant,
much of long error. Yes, yes, Keshav.
Vedant, can you please be slow a little bit so that we can hear properly? Because I think you are speaking too fast.
Okay, you're saying that I'm a little bit fast. I have to slow my speed.
Yes, you have to slow. Yes, you have to slow your slow the
So
instructions while speaking.
okay, Keshav. All right. So I was saying that I was saying that actually I was covering up those things in a you can say in one go, because those things are important. But the most important part is coming up right now. So okay, let's check up with that. Like when I was writing a command under script. So I was writing like subscribe and subscribe my channel, and I was writing my name of my file, that is not name.js. Okay, I was writing all those things. But then also it was but I was using the command as npm start. So when we are using any command that is not defined inside your script file, or you can say in your script area, it will be showing you error. Because what happens, js will parses each and every line of your file, of your packages. And it is a fundamental principle that you have to write inside your scripts. And if you're not mentioning inside your scripts, it will be showing you an error. Okay, so here today only we are looking up we are looking towards script to more, because scripts parts is very essential to learn and understand how it is working or how it works. Okay, so this is a proper part that we have to be so we have to get it, and we should be ready to execute. Okay, so that is the reason it was showing an error. Okay, so it will be more clear to you when I was using when I was showing you the next slides. So here also, I haven't changed the subscribe node name.js, and JS1 is again it's not able just to parse. So so let's try to catch up that particular error, that what kind of error it is that showing, that because we have to understand that error and we have to understand that meaning of that error. So it is showing a throw error. So most of the times it will be showing a reference error, syntax error, and throw error. So throw error is like when JS1 is parsing, when JS1 is parsing your packages. So in packages inside your debug, there is one script written over there. And when JavaScript object notation used to do this parsing over there, then it parses all kinds of things. That what kind of if it is if it it debugs, actually it provides a kind of a debugger, that it is debugging that if any error is there or not. But in my terminal command, you can say, but if I'm not writing as existing name of the file, or if I'm not writing as existing name of my uh, of my command of my you can say script that I have mentioned inside my script, the command that I mentioned inside my script. So it will be it cannot be able to parse. Parsing in terms of in a layman language, you can understand that parsing means fetch. That is, it is unable to fetch. Okay, parsing is means that you are unable to fetch something. Okay, so parsing is the meaning to fetch something. Okay, so it is like fetching over there, like what kind of thing that is providing. So it is not valid JSON. So that is, it is showing it is a syntax error parsing my name of my folder, an unexpected token p npm na is valid one. Okay, so it is showing an error, like while see again I was it is showing it showed an error that like I wrote node and I was using the name of my file. In the last session I told you that when I was using node and name of my file, my particular line of code has been executed in node.js, but now it is not executing. Why it is not executing? Because we have now installed some packages, and when you are installing those packages, you have to work according to that. Okay, so now you can see over here that after so much of, you can say, hustle and bustle, so much of parsing, and the errors, and it is not showing up in the errors that are not showing up in your modules, or errors that are not showing up your pc, that packages.js1 file. So it is showing so now you can understand that it will be easier to you understand. See, when you just, if you are using inside your script subscribe, so node subscribe, you have to give up the command as node subscribe, node space subscribe. So npm subscribe. Okay, so when you're using subscribe inside your scripts, you're using subscribe. Since this subscribe was not there previously, it was still text. This subscribe was written by me, because I have modified my piece of code inside scripts, and I wrote the name of name of the file, that what I have to execute, and then I was using that particular command. Okay, so when you are using when you're using any kind of, you can say, non, you can say, it is not improving that node, your name of the file npm node, so then it won't be working in the future anymore. So we have to understand that how the part of the scripts works, and sometimes we are not understanding the script part, and we are facing many errors, and we are showing, and we are wasting a much of our time. Okay, so now, okay, so if I'm using subscribe over there, so I have to use npm subscribe. So while if so npm subscribe, and all my particular line of code it can get executed. But also, if I'm a subscriber, it's not a standard, but it's not a standard point of view. Okay, so we should always use start over here to inside our packages module, to npm start, while and then we will be executing all pieces of files like that only. Okay, so packages, so you can see these parsing warnings. What are these parsing warnings are? That name is not valid js1 file npm packages. So and it is showing my name of my folder, then it is showing version. So it is not actually recognizing that my JS1 is not recognizing my JavaScript code. So to recognize my JavaScript code, JS1 should parse it properly. and until and unless it is not getting it is not able to parse, it will not able to provide your particular output. And that is what that is what our motive is. Okay, so again you can see now I have used npm run subscribe. So npm run subscribe, yes, are you saying something?
No, Vedant, you can go. Sorry for interruption.
Okay, so I was telling you that when you're using npm run subscribe, so so when you're using npm run subscribe, so npm run subscribe is a proper statement that you have to write in your terminal after your folder to get the particular piece of codes to be executed over there. And you can see over here that I have, because I was using subscribe inside my scripts, so I have to use npm run subscribe. If you, even if you are writing npm subscribe, you can face an error. Okay, so it is not it is, so it, if you have to define it properly, you have to execute it properly, and you have to use it properly. And see what kind of execution result it has been showed to me. It is showing my name of my folder first of all, then it is showing what kind of version my node.js has, then it is showing that what kind of command that I used over there. That is, I use a command of subscribe at this at you can say in the next line onwards. It is showing the name of my file, and that is node name.js. Okay, name.js is the name of my file, and because it is showing inside your node or node package, so node folder, so it is showing like that. So how much it is important to use a proper command at your terminal in a proper order and in a proper manner. So so I have I just showed you how much essential it is to write up your code inside your scripts, or how much it is essential to implement it properly. Okay, so okay, now if you can see over here, now I used npm start. Okay, now I was using npm start over there, and I haven't changed up my, you can say, subscribe. I just I haven't changed up my, you can say, name of my, you can say, file of I haven't changed the name of my file inside scripts. So and but I'm using npm start, so again it will be showing you an error. Okay, so I have told you this thing earlier also. So so this much of things should be clear to you. But and again I'm using npm subscribe, as I was showing you that npm, if you're using directly npm subscribe, so even you can write write a name over there. Your name, for example, your name is Vedant, so you can write over there Vedant, and after that you can write the name of the folder. And you have to write like it like that, that first you have to write node, because you have stored in the package of node. You have to write node, then you have to write the name of my file. It is your it can be your own wish how you create your file, xyz, or whatever name, hello.js or something like that. So it is very essential to write your name of the file, because so because you have to execute a piece of file. Okay, you have to execute the codes of your file. So that is the reason. So it is a proper reason. You can understand that that is the reason you have to write your name of the file, rather than writing anything else. Neither your pack, neither your folder, nor anything else. You just have to write node and name of your file, whatever name you have defined. And subscribe, what is subscribe? Subscribe, it is because as I have said earlier, that I wrote subscribe over there, because I wrote on my own. Okay, so you can write anything else. You can write YouTube, you can write your name Vedant, you can write your name Shukla, or whatever you can, whatever, it's upon you. But you have to execute it properly in your terminal. And see here, and it just shows a proper box over there when you haven't used any command. And it is when you click up that particular box, it is you can able to write your command. So you, because again it is showing an error, as you can see over there. At this point of view, it was not showing an error. Subscribe, it is my proper command was were able to use, were able to execute. Okay, but here, as you can see over there, it has been executed, and my name of my file and name of my file when it was coming in like that, but it is showing an error at this point of view. Npm subscribe, although everything was better, everything was okay. I was not using npm start, as you can see over here. I was using npm start, so it is not recognizing. It is like that what kind of packages you are in, so node is asking to me that what kind of packages you have installed and what kind of command you want to run inside your script. So it is showing an error because I haven't defined a run over there, start over there. But in subscribe also it is again it is, but because I don't subscribe, again it is showing an error. Why it is showing an error? Because in the scripts you can say what I wrote subscribe, I use subscribe, but I have to use it like that, npm run subscribe. So npm run subscribe is essential to write. Okay, rather than writing anything else. For example, many people used to write something anything else. Okay, so you have to write npm run subscribe, npm space run subscribe. As you can see over here, I properly use up my command npm run subscribe. Even if you are writing, even if you are moving up your small pieces of errors, then also it will be showing you up an error. Okay, if you are not writing up a simple piece of text also, then it will be showing you a particular error. So you have to be very essential and very, you can say, particular about all those things. Okay, so so again, again, so it is showing that history was restored. Actually, history restored is the part when all your previous commands commands, those lines of commands, those have been executed. So when you are using and using and pressing enter, so it stores all your previous history of your command. Okay, so it was showing an error showing an error. So it is recommended to use npm subscribe, and so npm subscribe always, rather than using rather than npm run subscribe, rather than using npm subscribe. So today I just explained you about my scripts part. So my script area, what the things that have been essential to write about, what are those essential things to understand, and what are the essential things to debug, and how you use that scripts, and how much scripts are essential. So this is step by step process. So understanding each and everything, and we will be moving towards covering up the larger part also. So and one thing more, that for example you are using npm subscribe, it is not running. But at the same point of view, when you're modifying subscribe to start, so although it will not recognize start as npm start. When you are using npm start command, it won't be recognizing over there at that piece of line, at that piece of point. But when you are using, and when you are defining it inside your script, like I use subscribe over there, as you can see. So as I was saying, that I have modified at my own wish. Okay, so if I, because start is a proper standard statement when we are executing any piece of file. So when I'm using, for example, npm start, when I'm using start over there and I'm doing the same thing, writing the name of my file like that wise. So npm run, so there I won't be using run. Like here I have to use npm run subscribe, but then there I won't be asking to run to my npm to run that start. So start is already understood, and it is not a unknown command in your packages.js. Although if you're not using start, then it will be showing you up an error. That is likewise, here also you can see npm error, npm error, npm error, npm error. So it is inside your packages. So it works on parsing. So it parses all of those all the whole your package. And while parsing, it recognizes that whether a particular text of a particular command is present over there. So is it ready to execute? And if it is ready to execute, there is no problem. And if it is not ready to execute, then it creates a problem. Okay, so one thing more, that you should write down one point, like you can modify all those things inside your scripts, rather than modifying inside your any other area. Only the script area inside, near your debug point, inside your debug, you can modify these changes, what the modification that I'm telling to you, inside your scripts, rather than modifying it your any other point. Likewise, in your author license description, these are the standard points that have been the standard packages that packages.js7 has installed, that node.js have installed to to work properly, so you cannot write anywhere else. So you have to prepare, you have to, if you want to do any modification, you can do inside your text. Okay, so I was saying that if you are writing npm, and one thing more, for example, when you are you can say installing all your packages, and then there, till there you only have till text area, and nothing else was written over there. So there you have to go and you have to write it on your own. For example, and so when you are writing start in subscribe, you have to use it npm run subscribe. But when you are using start, you can simply use it npm start, and your file will get executed with zero errors. So that was all. And also, and if you have not wrote and start, or not initialize start, then it cannot, it won't be working and showing an error like npm error, and you can see in my screen. So now we are moving towards this online. Okay, so now we are moving towards this output finding questions. So these are very simple logical questions that we should know. Although these are very basic, these questions are based upon JavaScripts, and in futures also I will be presenting up more typical and advanced version questions also. So we are moving from scratch to advanced. Okay, so if anyone is able to guess the answers, well and good, or I should tell it up right now. So okay, so I should be telling you the answer if you are not able to guess it. Okay, it's a very
Wait a
simple thing.
minute.
You can understand it. Okay, Rudhanshu, you can try. You can try if anyone wants to try.
I think true will be the answer.
Um,
Wait a second. Yes, true is the answer.
okay.
Or one is the answer.
Yes, one, or I think true is only with answer.
So anyone, if you want.
Yes, you can proceed.
So Rudhanshu, neither it won't be true or not one. Actually, so one or two is mostly the same. Actually, it will be showing you zero, because what happens, you can like that, when we are using a true plus false, that means one plus zero. Okay, true is one and false is zero, so one. And while you're moving up towards, you can say, these double and are the logical operators, and when you are moving, when you're using a particular like that, so that here, that point of view, that is initializing true and vice initializing false. So at so okay, so the when you are printing up those outputs, z is equal to x plus y. So and then so 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, that's all right, because 2 is 1, false is 0. Then when we are using double and operator, okay, so when we are comparing it right now, so 1 and 0, it's 0. 1 into 0, it's 0. So simple multiplication is 0. So the so when you're using and operator, so you can understand it like that, that 1 and 0, when we are using and gate, so it always gives false. Okay, so at 1 and 0 is false in your, you can say, in your you can say and gate. So because it is in JavaScript, it is printing z, because it wants to print z, so output will be 0. So neither it's 1 or 2, so output will 0, you will get 0. Or you can even say it like that, you will get an output as false. So so likewise it is getting executed. So if you have any doubt in that particular point, so you can again ask me. If you're thinking something like that, or you're implementing your logic at any other point of view. So if it is all clear, so I can move forward, or it's not clear, I can wait it for a while.
How it evaluates to like zero? I don't understand. Please explain again.
Vedanta,
Actually,
I think have used double and, which is, I think, logical and. Firstly, that the operand values which are written nearby this logical and, firstly, they will evaluate, or from left to right it will evaluate. Mainly,
So yes, I was. So am I audible?
Yes, yes.
So I was telling you about that. Like like Kesha was asking me that what kind of precedency it follows. Actually, it can as follow both kind of precedency, left to right and right to left. Actually, what happens? It's not about left to right or right to left. So in this case, so it follows operator precedency and associative rules like that influences whether your expressions are evaluated left to right or right to left. See, this is a very simple the logic is very simple. See, x, when you have, in that x has been initialized as true, that is 1, and y is initialized as false, that is 0. So 1 plus 0 is always 1, and 1 into 0 is 0. So 1 and double and 1 and 0, and when you're using AND gate, at AND gate, if you remember, the all it always comes 1 and 0 always evaluates to 0, and it is a simple that prints up console.log as z. So when it is printing it as z, so output will you that you will be getting as 0 only. So okay, so that is false. This is a tendency of an double and operator. This is not about particular javascript over its working. It's just as a programming language. It is a simple logical case, and it is a, as I said, it is a very simple it applies a very simple part of a logic, that one truthy value and one falsy value in AND operator gives us a falsy value that is evaluates to 0, that evaluates up to 0. So if you have any problem in this part of logic, if now you can again ask me.
No
Rudransh,
problem. No problem.
it's all right.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So almost I have covered up with my session, and I have told you today's session is almost over from me. So if you want to ask any cross question, you can please question and answers, you can please ask me. uh, for example, like different data types in present in javascript, you people are mostly aware of those data types, let var and all primitive data types. And most of and what is NA? NA is not a number, it's not a number property in javascript. You can even write it as, you can even perform it as one function of, you can say, a function, any call up one function of math function, and then you can like initialize the variable of x and y, give it the parameters x and y, and then you can return x plus y. Then again you're printing console, and then we are using a printing statement console.log, and inside that you're printing x plus y rather than printing up x comma y. So it will be confused. JavaScript you can get confused, and it will be showing you not a number, that is nan. And what is, and in the similar way also you can and it is a simple program to find to calculate a sum of two numbers in javascript. Okay. Even you can use a math function in javascript to calculate, because there you have, for that you have to import import the math library in your javascript file. There, while importing math file, you have to specify what directory, at which directory you have to use it. For example, for directly you have to use it like that, dot slash. So this is all a part of the next session. So I will be showing up you in your next session also, in my code also. So most of the things have been clear to you, I think. If you want anything, you can ask me, or I should wrap up the session.
No, no, no
Ritansh?
question. No question.
Okay, so thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Okay.
I'm giving this session to Ritansh, so you can host it.
Okay. So my voice is audible to all, and I can proceed now. So we are on the Docker 5 portion. Okay. So what is Docker? Like in my recent session, in previous session, I explained like I take a lecture on revision of Docker. In that I will explain what is Docker and all the basics commands. I revised it all. But in the single lecture, it is very tough to deliver tough concepts like Docker. Okay, so all the commands which are useful, we will explain in a each in detail in my previous presentations, like Docker 1 to Docker 5. Okay. So if you want in detail, then you will go on these lectures. Otherwise, I can also brief like a short introduction of all the commands which are using in this lecture. Okay. So what is Docker? Docker is basically used to deploy our websites. Like if you want to run a program, okay, you want to run a Python program in your Visual Studio Code. Like you directly go to the Visual Studio Code, just write the Python command, Python program, and just run the command. After that, you will see the output in your terminal in the VS Code. Okay, so if you are uh, deploy that program in the container, then it will more smoothly provide you a output. The simple thing is that we will also deploy our program in the Visual Studio Code directly, or we deploy our code with the help of a container. So in this session, most probably I will reach at that point where I write a command, write a program in Python, and after that I will deploy that Python program in the container, and with the help of container I can run that Python code. Okay, so in that case, interpreter which is used to run the Python program is inside the container, not in my desktop. So if you will go with the previous session, if you are with me in from previous session, then you know that Docker is always associated a tiny Linux machine, because Docker is available for Linux operating system. So if you install for Windows or for Mac OS, if you want to deploy your programs or your like an interaction between Python to MongoDB, the simple application, actually this application I will run in my next presentation. But here I think I covered the how to run the Python program in the Docker container, how to run the HTML, basic HTML on your Docker container with the help of some images. Okay, so just my session number is 5. So just continue. Okay, just so some portion of port mapping, because without port mapping, am I audible to all? Voice is reaching clearly.
Yes, you are audible and
Okay,
clear
okay.
as well.
Okay. So some portions of port mapping I will take, because without port mapping, there is nothing to work on Docker. Because port mapping provides a way where we can interact with the container. Like port mapping is the mediator. With the help of like our web browser version is web browser port is 8080, and that maps to port number 80 to the container. uh, uh, Give me a second. So that here you can see 8080 maps to 80. So 80 is the basically we can say that port number inside the container, and 8080 is the port number in like our web browser, and that maps to 80. When we open localhost 8080, then it will be open the nginx. Actually this time in my device 8080 is maps to another port number. So here you can see port are not available, but here we write 8081, so it will map clearly. Okay, so some portions of word mapping, so you can revise. Firstly, you can see some commands. After that, I will start running all the commands on live, like a live implementation form. So just firstly, I will take an image that is nginx. Okay, so docker run /d nginx. If you write this command, after that, you will get an image, and correspondingly, this command is only for running the container based on an image. Image is nothing but a set of files. Okay, set of file system layers, not a set of files, basically a file system layers. So docker run /d nginx. If the image is available on your local cache, then the like docker daemon, which are the main portion which performs the action, it can get from your local cache and provide to your system. But if your in your system nginx image is not present, then docker daemon send the request to the where docker hub, where the many images are present, uploaded like a GitHub, many repositories are present. In that way, many images are present. So many images are present there, and like here you can see unable to find image nginx latest locally. So इसने यहाँ पे locally available नहीं है, तो डीमन ने रिक्वेस्ट भेजी डॉकर हब को. आफ्टर दैट डॉकर हब ने उस लाइब्रेरी से, nginx की लाइब्रेरी से इसको पुल कर दिया हमारे सिस्टम में. पुल का मतलब होता है कोई चीज हमारे सिस्टम में आई है फ्रॉम आउटसाइड द वर्ल्ड. पुश का मतलब होगा यहाँ से हम लोग पुश करेंगे, मतलब हम लोग अपने डेस्कटॉप से एक रिमोट सर्वर और पब्लिक सर्वर में इसको पुश करेंगे. सो क्या होगा कि इस कमांड का यूज करने से एक इमेज आ जाएगी और उसका कंटेनर रन करने लगेगा. सो these are the hash values of pull completed. And so here till here, give me a second. So if you see till here, pull completed, I have get the run nginx image and the container is running. For running our like mapping with a port number, I have to firstly stop the container with the help of this and this. So after that we will stop till here and remove the container also, because we don't want any running container. We only want mapped to a particular container. After that the container is in running form. So just a command docker run /d/p mapping number and the image. So this simple command provide a mapping. So I think the basic stuff is clear. I just give me a second so that I open my terminal, and after that I will run all the commands which are necessary. Okay, so give me a second. So okay, so we are on here. Give me a second. Okay, so just write docker. Firstly, I will actually like docker images. If you go with me, like, okay, so here you can see docker python and nginx images available, because I will work on these images to perform some tasks. So firstly, I will remove it. So docker removing command. Till here, if anyone have any problem to docker, because it is a very complex one, I think it should be a complex. So if you have any doubt till here.
No, we don't have any doubts. You can go with
Okay,
the flow.
so if you want like you look here docker images, if you directly write on your command, you clearly see that the command is not running and it will give a bad request, or like a docker daemon is not initialized, or and all the stuffs. So firstly, if you see here, this is the docker desktop is running in resource saver mode. So my docker desktop is running, that's why I will directly use our command line to perform the actions. Okay, so if there is no docker is running, then these commands are not useful or not running on your device. Firstly, start your docker desktop. After that, these all commands are running. So just I remove the particular image because I have to explain all this. Error response from docker unable to delete must. Okay, so so if here, if like, firstly I have to forcefully delete, I just check if there any container to running. So there is docker ps, its command shows that there's no container which is running. So just docker rmi help. If you stuck with any like command, you just use help, and just here you can see /f is used to forceful removal of the images. So just write docker yeah /f. So here you can see image is completely deleted. And first of all, Keshav, are you like you are with me from my first session? What is the mean of alpine? If you remember, then give the answer. Okay, so I think Keshav and I think forgot it. So alpine is basically a shortest image which is available. Shortest means like the first image. Like I am the owner of the Python and all the stuffs, and I just updated my first image on the Docker Hub. Then that version of the image, basically Alpine is a tag. Here also a latest tag is associated sometimes. So that indicates a latest is indicates that there are many images are present and one of the latest image we can take. बस अब यहाँ पे अल्पाइन का मतलब होगा कि आपकी फर्स्ट इमेज जब अपलोड हुई थी डॉकर हब में, सो ये उसका कॉन्सेप्ट है, अल्पाइन उसी को इंडिकेट करता है, द लेटेस्ट। अब यहाँ पे हम लोग इमेज आईडी दूसरी रख देते हैं, RMI/F। अब इमेज आईडी हमको NGNX की करनी है, इमेज आईडी जस्ट यहाँ से टेक करते हैं, कंट्रोल C करते हैं एंड कंट्रोल V कर देते हैं। ओके, सो जस्ट एंटर। सो हियर यू कैन सी NGNX इज द लेटेस्ट। सो दिस टाइम अगर हम करते हैं डॉकर इमेजेस, so here there is no images present. This time I just trying docker run/it, and what is the image name? NGINX. Enter. Unable to find images because I deleted from my local cache. It will pulling from where? So you clearly see pulling from FS layers. Pulling from FS layers means I explained in my previous sentence, मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था आपको कि FS layers बेसिकली क्या होता है, डॉकर इमेजेस होती हैं। डॉकर इमेजेस का मतलब ही क्या होता है, सेट ऑफ फाइल सिस्टम लेयर्स। सो ये डॉकर हब में जा रही है रिक्वेस्ट और वहां से वो पुल कर रहा है, और ये डाउनलोडिंग में आई थिंक 2 to 3 seconds लेगा। देन आफ्टर वी विल स्टार्ट। until here we revise this. Firstly we run nginx. With the help of this command we simultaneously collab two processes. Firstly the image comes from the docker hub to my desktop, and after that a container is created based on that image and container is running formed. So after running that, after like just I run the command, firstly I will see the command is running. Okay, so wait a second. Till here if you have any doubt, actually in this concept if you have any doubt at the point, then ask at the point. अगर मैं आगे बढ़ जाऊंगा तो वो हो सकता है प्रॉब्लम करे। अगर आपको जिस कॉन्सेप्ट पे प्रॉब्लम है उसी स्टेप पे आप मुझे स्टॉप कर दीजिएगा, मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा। So wait a second till downloading of this. So downloaded never image of nginx latest. Wait a second, it will be processed. nginx download okay, I think so it will be exited. Give me a second please guys. Mhm. Docker examples, yes. The action could not move, it is open in another folder. Okay, so we just stick if okay, so it will be dash for me. So here you can see like Docker images. We just write again this command docker run nginx. So launching source, okay, VLSI. Wait a second. I think the process will start. Docker images. So here you can see a image is created, which is size of 188 MB, and like images from in my device, image that is present. So just I write docker ps. So any container is not running this time. So we don't have a problem. We can't have to stop because the container is not running. So just we move forward. So if you will come here, you just skip the stop and RM process because there is no container which is running. So just write docker and /d/p and all the stuff. Give me a second. Docker run /d/p 80/80 port and nginx. So error response port number is not available because in 80/80 another device another application is running. So just write one. So here you can see 80/80 maps to 80 nginx. So just I go here and just I write localhost host 80/80 just go here. So welcome to nginx. So all of you clearly see what here a complete port mapping is done, and the nginx image is ported port mapping is done with the image to my web browser. Are you understanding what I'm explain here? Are you? And अगर आप कंफ्यूज तो नहीं है कोई?
नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं. You
Okay.
can carry on.
Okay. So my first step is done. So this time if I go again and just type docker ps. So here you can see container is running. That's we want. हमको पहले कंटेनर को ऑफ करना था बट वो स्टार्ट ही नहीं हुआ. ये कुछ हुआ कमांड्स में बट वो स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ यार. समटाइम्स आपका आप जैसे सोचते हो उस तरीके से कमांड्स वर्क नहीं करती बिकॉज इंटरनल अलग प्रोसेस चल रहे होते हैं. आपका विंडोज भी वर्क कर रहा होता है. सो अगर कभी ऐसा आता है तो आप कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ जाइए. इमेज नहीं अगर कंटेनर नहीं रन करा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. आप डायरेक्टली उसको मैप करा देंगे और डॉकर रन से वो रन करने लगेगा. सो हेयर आपका इमेज पोर्ट कंप्लीट मैपिंग हो चुकी है. अब हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं.
रुद्रांश,
यस
तुमने मतलब ये किया है कि अभी पाइथन को एज अ कंटेनर में स्टोर करके उसको डिप्लॉय किया है डॉकर से.
नो पाइथन का कोई वर्ड ही नहीं यूज किया. अभी तो मैंने वो सब डिलीट किया था जो पुराने थे.
नहीं मतलब वो
एनजीएनएक्स
आज
को
का
हमने
टास्क तो
एनजीएनएक्स की एक इमेज है उसको लिया, उसको पोर्ट से मैप कर दिया और वो रन करने लगा. वो क्या है अब यहां से ध्यान से समझना. सबसे पहले क्या है एनजीएनएक्स की इमेज आई, वो किस में गई? डॉकर रन स्लैश 80/80 से क्या हुआ कि डॉकर ये इमेज गई कंटेनर में और कंटेनर में रन करने लगी और उस कंटेनर के नंबर को हमने क्या किया अपने वेब ब्राउजर के साथ एसोसिएट कर दिया. जो सिंपल सा
ओके तभी
कमांड.
वहां से.
क्या?
हाँ तो वही वो पोर्ट जनरेट हुआ. पोर्ट नंबर तुमने वहां पे डाला ब्राउजर
हाँ.
में तो वही शो लगा रनिंग पोर्ट.
अब तुम तो एक क्वेश्चन है कि तुम लोग पूछोगे कि यार ये 80 क्यों हुआ, क्योंकि 80 कैसे मुझे पता है कि डॉकर इसी कंटेनर को यूज कर रहा है. सो जस्ट राइट डॉकर इंस्पेक्ट. I don't remember the image ID or a container number, but I just write here. I think image ID is. So here you can see the detail about this image. So अगर आपको पोर्ट नंबर जानना है तो सीधे यहाँ पे आइए. यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? एक्सपोज्ड पोर्ट 80/TCP. तो मतलब इस इमेज की पोर्ट नंबर जो इंटरनल कंटेनर में रन कर रहा है वो उस कंटेनर में जो पोर्ट है वो 80 है. और आपका डेस्कटॉप का कोड तो आपको पता है 80/80 से होता है, 4 डिजिट का होता है. तो आप डायरेक्टली इस 80 को लेंगे और ये जस्ट जो कमांड हमने पहले रन करी थी इसको यहां रखेंगे और ये nginx की इमेज है और ये हमारे पोर्ट है. तो ये डायरेक्ट इससे पोर्ट मैप हो चुका है. आई यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन?
ओके सर. ओके सर, आई माय डाउट इज क्लियर. नाउ यू कैन कैरी ऑन.
Okay, so just move forward. We have completed till this. Just move here. So today we will come with the concept of volume to volume mapping. We completed the port mapping concept. We here to move volume to volume mapping. Okay, so volume to volume. Any person explain what is volume to volume? What is volume to volume? The diagram is
As
clearly.
I can as I can see the image in your slide, but I don't know volume to volume. But you by seeing your image, I can say that it is like you are copying a folder from original your local PC and running that folder in your Docker. I think it is like this or something else.
Okay, yeah, like the you are going the right direction. I explain what is volume to volume. So there is a folder in your PC, like you explained, and I have to map this folder with container inside container. Here you can see a folder is here and folder is here, and you also see folder is here and folder is here. So for a particular condition, if you are running a program like Python or HTML, then you map to PC to container. But if there is a connection like SQL to Python program, and with that you have to interact with the database, then you can move, like you can map with your Docker host platform. Okay, actually this comes from the last part, in last of my slides. If you here just uh, I think after that, yeah, this portion, sample Python application which writes and reads from MongoDB. These types of programs we can run in like with the help of Docker host VM virtual machine. Because I explain the reason why we for the particular case interaction we go here and for the. So firstly, I will explain path of your ओके सो पाथ ऑफ योर लोकल कंप्यूटर जो यहाँ पे लिखेंगे, उसके बाद हम लोग पाथ लिखेंगे कंटेनर का, ठीक है। यूजर शेयर ये बाय डिफॉल्ट होता है, कोई भी रन करेगा तो यही आएगा यार। सो हेयर वी मैप द फोल्डर इनसाइड द डेस्कटॉप टू कंटेनर, दिस मैपिंग इज बाई डायरेक्शनल, मींस वी हैव टू राइट फ्रॉम बोथ साइड। अगर हम कोई पर्टिकुलर फोल्डर को मैप कर देते हैं कंटेनर से, तो क्या होगा कि हम लोग कंटेनर, जैसे nginx में गए आप, nginx में आपने क्या किया कि अगर आपको nginx का html फाइल को क्या करना है, चेंज करना है, तो आप कंटेनर में जाके चेंज करो, चाहे आपके मेन डेस्कटॉप से चेंज करो, दोनों वो चेंज परफॉर्म होंगे, इसीलिए वो बाई डायरेक्शनल है। ओके सो जस्ट मूव फॉरवर्ड। सो फॉर दिस एप्लीकेशन, एंड अगर वो केस क्या होगा जब हमको इसको डॉकर होस्ट में रन करना होगा, वो केस तब होगा अगर हम लोग कंटेनर में क्या बोलते हैं मैपिंग करते हैं लोकल फोल्डर की कंटेनर से। तो और अगर हम ये मोंगोडीबी वाला कर रहे हैं, तो अगर हम कंटेनर और एक्चुअली ये प्रोग्राम आपका एग्जीक्यूट होगा, आपका जो मेन फोल्डर में डेस्कटॉप पे है वो कंटेनर में जाके एग्जीक्यूट हुआ, आफ्टर दैट वो करंटली स्टॉप हो जाएगा, क्योंकि उसके अंदर कोई प्रोसेस ही नहीं रहेगा। पाइथन का प्रोग्राम रन हो चुका है, मतलब काम खत्म हो गया कंटेनर का, कंटेनर तुरंत अपने आप शटडाउन में चला जाएगा और ये प्रोग्राम आपका रन कर देगा। बट अगर आपको अगर आप मोंगोडीबी से जा रहे हैं, वो कंटेनर आपने यही किया कि कंटेनर को डायरेक्ट पीसी से मैप करा दिया, तो जब कंटेनर आप जैसे ही एक बार क्वेरी परफॉर्म करोगे मोंगोडीबी से, तो वो परफॉर्म होने के बाद ऑफ हो जाएगा और आपका प्रीवियस डेटा कंटेनर में नहीं बचेगा, मतलब मोंगोडीबी में पूरा डेटा वैनिश हो जाएगा और आपको हर बार नया करना होगा। इसीलिए हम लोग डॉकर होस्ट में उसको रखते हैं मोंगोडीबी को, जिससे कि जब हम लोग नया कंटेन मतलब उसमें जब एक्शन परफॉर्म करें, तो बाय डिफॉल्ट जो डेटा हम लोगों ने स्टोर कर रखा है उसी के ऊपर परफॉर्म हो। समझ में आया कि हम लोग क्यों ये एक अलग केस लेके चलते हैं जो यहाँ पे ग्रीन फोल्डर शेप में है। ओके सो जस्ट वी मूव हेयर। सो actually so here you can see for enabling sharing on windows, like अगर आपको मैप कराना है कंटेनर से, तो आप ये एक्शन परफॉर्म करेंगे, ये नेसेसरी है यहाँ पे यस करेंगे, जो भी ड्राइव से आपको कंटेनर से मैप कराना है। सो इनेबलिंग, सो जस्ट दिस इज कमांड विच मैप टू ऑल।
रुद्राक्ष,
यस यस।
ये लाइक जैसे हम लोग वन ड्राइव में जैसे पर्टिकुलर ड्राइव सिलेक्ट कर लेते हैं, जैसे सी ड्राइव, पर्टिकुलर सी ड्राइव या डी ड्राइव की यही केवल शेयर होगी मेरी वन ड्राइव से, जो भी इसमें
हाँ हाँ।
चेंजमेंट होंगे वो वहां पे भी रिफ्लेक्ट करेंगे, ऐसा
हम्म
कुछ है?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
ओके ओके।
सो इनेबलिंग वॉल्यूम्स मैपिंग फॉर nginx कंटेनर। तो सबसे पहले मैंने आप मतलब बिना बताए पहले ही से डॉकर एग्जांपल्स नाम से एक फोल्डर क्रिएट किया हुआ है। Actually give me a second. So if we are here, just I am in the here and here. So here you can see Docker examples. Just copy because I have a less time. So just copy it. Properties. Mhm. Actually, give me a second. कहाँ गया यार rename properties. So just Control A, Control C. So just I use this folder CD. So we are on the Docker examples. So if in your desktop a VS Code is running, then a simple command code dot will be open directly in your VS Code. Okay. So these are all the stuffs. Skip this. So here you can see Docker examples is created. We just write nginx folder, not a file. Okay. nginx एंटर कर दिया, हम लोगों ने एक HTML फोल्डर बनाया। अभी मैं आपको क्या कर रहा हूँ, आपको एक HTML का प्रोग्राम डॉकर कंटेनर के अंदर रन करके दिखा रहा हूँ. सो जस्ट मैप इज डन and inside that we created a what, index.html. So okay, so we are here, we write a program and all the stuffs, we are on this portion. So just we go here and you see the command. Firstly, like I change here to nginx. We are on the nginx folder. Okay, so just docker run /did/p. This is a port number which maps to 80 /v का मतलब यहाँ पर क्या है. सो फर्स्टली मैं बताता हूँ, डॉकर रन मतलब कंटेनर रन करेगा, डी मतलब डिटैच्ड मोड, आई मतलब इंटरैक्टिव और टी मतलब टर्मिनल में. तो डॉकर क्या होगा, डिटैच्ड मोड पे रन करेगा, इंटरैक्टिव वे होगा और वो टर्मिनल से इंटरैक्ट होगा. सो /p क्या करेगा, उसको पब्लिश करेगा और ये पोर्ट नंबर 8888 आपका मेन सिस्टम का है. 80 क्या करेगा, आपकी जो nginx की इमेज है उससे पोर्ट कराएगा और उसको क्या करेगा, /v यानी कि मैप करेगा, वॉल्यूम /v को डिनोट कर रहा है. /pwd, अगर लाइक केशव यू आल्सो नो दैट pwd व्हाट इज द कमांड. Actually, I run it in my desktop, then you will understand. So just I write it here from VS Code terminal.
PWD present working directory.
Yes. So Docker. Okay. So okay. Give me a second. Docker run /dit. Okay. Firstly, I changed it to the nginx. So we are on the nginx. Then we write Docker run /dit/p. हमने डिटैच इंटरैक्टिव टर्मिनल से स्टार्ट किया, /p में किया 8888 एंड मैच कर दिया हमने 80 पोर्ट नंबर को. और इसके बाद क्या किया हमने, /v लगाया जिससे कि क्या होगा, वो वॉल्यूम से मैप कर देगा. और कौन सी इमेज, फर्स्टली मैं एक डॉलर सिंबल लगाना पड़ेगा हमको यहाँ पे, बेसिक कमांड होता है यूज करने के लिए. कहाँ गया है डॉलर, हाँ बस ठीक. So just we write it here. What is PWD? PW means present working directory. As Keshav said, just write HTML because हमको क्या करना है, HTML को रन कराना है. हमको किससे मैप करना है, we go with here and show like here.
Please be fast, 1 minute is left.
We have another presentation also. अभी मैं वो करके दिखा दूंगा नेक्स्ट सेशन पे, अगर ये ओवर हो जाता है कि एक स्टेप एक्सप्लेन करना जरूरी है क्योंकि कॉम्प्लेक्स है थोड़ा सा. सो पीडब्ल्यूडी आ गया, एचटीएमएल आ गया, हमको यूजर शेयर nginx html डायरेक्ट और उसके बाद इमेज नेम. ठीक. तो ओके यू कैन लीव यार, नेक्स्ट लाइक तुरंत ज्वाइन हो जाओ, फिर मैं उसको एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. नहीं तो अभी मैं समझाऊंगा पीडब्ल्यूडी क्या है. और एचटीएमएल पे गया, उसके बाद क्या किया उसने, यूजर. तो आपको मेरी स्क्रीन विजिबल हो रही है, माई स्क्रीन इज विजिबल टू ऑल ऑफ यू.
Yes.
Yes, you're
So
visible and you are audible.
Docker run
You can get.
detached mode interactive cell in the terminal publish 88. इस पोर्ट नंबर पे 80 हम लोगों ने पोर्ट कर दिया, इमेज से अटैच कर दिया आपने. उसके बाद क्या किया, सबसे पहले हमने क्या किया, हमने /80 का मतलब ये अगर ये कोलन लगा करके हम लोगों ने क्या किया, 80 इमेज को मैप कर दिया अपने इस फोल्डर में. ठीक. अब वो क्या करेगा, इस इमेज का जो वो रन कर रहा है कंटेनर, उसमें डॉकर इस फाइल को भी रन कर देगा उसी कंटेनर में. और ये कहाँ पे पाथ क्या लेगा, किससे मतलब कौन सा रन करेगा, पाथ कौन सा प्रोग्राम रन करेगा. तो पीडब्ल्यूडी का मतलब होता है ये सिंपल nginx तक वो आएगा. अगर पीडब्ल्यू हटा दो, डॉलर के अंदर ये लिख दोगे तो ये भी वर्क करेगा. ठीक है. फिर एचटीएमएल पे आएगा, यानी इस फाइल को हमको रन कराना है. मैप कर दिया किससे, ये डिफॉल्ट होता है यूजर शेयर. ये यूजर शेयर आपको लिखना पड़ेगा nginx html और इस जगह इमेज का नेम लिखना पड़ेगा. जैसे ही मैंने अभी एंटर किया.
Raj,
यस यस.
I just want to add one thing. Like this is a JavaScript thing. Here, Rudransh has used $PWD. So this is the way how you can add dynamically anything between any of your normal string. So if as normal Rudransh has used dollar and then PWD. PWD is present working directory, and here in this case present working directory is C users Tiwari Docker examples nginx. So it will add dynamically add this whole path in the here in after the $pw to this statement.
Thanks
Now,
for
Rudransh, you can carry.
giving invaluable information. Actually, this type of collaborative learning, what we want in source content. So just here you can see that the hash value is generated and it will map to 8888. So 4-digit port number in my local here. So just I write 888 and 8. So क्या लग रहा है, क्या आउटपुट आएगा, देखते हैं. So hello there, क्यों आया ये? Why this output is coming? Because I just write /p hello there. अगर मैं यहाँ पे कुछ चेंज करता हूँ, like hello source content राइट करता हूँ, तो हम लोग सी कर देखते हैं कि आएगा कि नहीं आएगा. So just we move to here, just refresh it here. So hello source content. तो सभी को समझ में आया? All of you are clearly understand a HTML file is running with the help of a container in Docker. So this is a basic application which explain why Docker is used. All of you clear what I'm trying to say?
Yes, clear.
Okay,
Very
so
much clear.
I run a Python program with the help of Docker container. So just we move forward in my presentation. अगर यही if in this particular instance I have to work, like I have to run an application where Python interacts with the MongoDB, then I not create a folder in my desktop. I just open the tiny machine which is associated with the Docker desktop, and just inside that Docker desktop we just open MongoDB expression and just created a folder. That folder is associated with my main PC machine, and after that we can associate that folder to container. Okay, so there is a two-way mapping. I explain in my next session because here I explain what is the basic application of this. So just here the three-way mapping firstly maps to here, then firstly maps to here. So just we move here, and to map folder from Windows to container, अगर आपको जानना है कि कैसे मैप हुआ है, so if you want to know कि मैप हुआ भी है कि नहीं हुआ है, so just write docker and what, just write firstly ps, so you will get the container id. So here two nginx images are running, firstly up to 4 minutes up to 19 minutes. मैंने बोला था ना एक दो रन करेंगे, वो सेकंड वाला पहले nginx वाला क्या करेगा, 8081 मैपिंग वाला जो हमने रन कराया था वो उससे रन करेगा. बट जो 8 ये वाला मैप है, ये वाला, ये हमारा 8888 ये मैप कर रहा है. देखो 80 को यहाँ पे क्लियरली सिंपल हो रहा है विजुलाइज. सो ये हमारा रिसेंट है, और यहाँ पे जो ये सब नाम आते हैं, ये these all names are variably created at the particular instance. In your desktop I think the another name is coming, okay, and the image container id is also another sometimes. So just write docker inspect. I think I am right with the command. If wrong, then I think it will give an error. That's to here. So my command is correct. Here I break the screen. So here you can see what all the stuffs. So here you can see mounts. If you previously like so here you can आप देखो यहाँ पे पहले माउंट्स टू मैप कर रहा है किसको, टाइप एक बाइंडिंग हो चुकी है किसमें, डॉकर एग्जांपल्स nginx html की डेस्टिनेशन कहाँ पे ली है, nginx के html से. अगर हम लोग nginx के html से डेस्टिनेशन लेते हैं, उसको मैप कर देते हैं इस मैप html से, तो nginx का जो कंटेनर होगा वो हमारे इस html को रन करने लगेगा. मोड कैसा है, नॉर्मल मोड है. और rw का मतलब यहाँ पे कोई बता सकता है कि क्या हो सकता है? RW का मतलब बेसिकली है यार रीड एंड राइट. सो अगर हम लोग यहाँ से मॉडिफाई करते हैं या कंटेनर में जाके मॉडिफाई करते हैं, तो दोनों एक एक्शन ही परफॉर्म करेंगे. प्रोपोगेशन आर प्राइवेट है। सो ये एक माउंट बेसिकली है। अब मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि अगर हम लोगों ने बेसिकली कोई प्रोग्राम नहीं रन कराया है, सो जस्ट आई यूज द डॉकर इंस्पेक्ट. I think this time in this session I will move a little slowly, so because so that you can understand, that's why the session is going very slowly. So just write here Control C and just write it here Control V. So here you can see I move to the mount portion. So here you can see mount is empty, so there is no binding is done. By that you can easily understand what container is binded with a particular image, what particular content. So because it is the base file, it can't mount with any images. So we are moving just forward because we don't have a much time. So here this command is which is used to map is this is a simple command, map to any program. But sometimes you will get to different, अगर फाइल एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रही है, इमेज ही एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रही है, तो आपको दूसरे कमांड से जाना होगा, मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ. So you are moving forward here. So running what application inside the container. अब फर्स्टली हमको स्टॉप करना होगा. So स्टॉप करने के लिए सबसे पहले यहाँ पे आते हैं. So just write docker what ps/a/q. So यहाँ पे दिखा रहा है इतने सारी चीजें रन कर रही हैं, बट हमको सबको स्टॉप करना है. So just write docker stop dollar symbol, just write bracket, and here you just write the simple command docker ps/a/q. सो यहाँ पे सारे कंटेनर स्टॉप हो चुके हैं बट रिमूव नहीं हुए, हमको सब कुछ रिमूव करना है. सो जस्ट राइट, ये एक सिंपल कमांड है सारे कंटेनर्स को ऑफ करने के लिए या हो सकता है रिमूव करने के लिए. सो यहाँ पे सारे कंटेनर्स रिमूव हो चुके हैं. इफ यू राइट डॉकर ps दिस टाइम देन यू कैन सी देयर इज नथिंग अवेलेबल. सो वी आर कंप्लीटेड टिल हियर. जस्ट आई ओपन okay, just I write firstly I will go with another version like cd डबल डैश cd. ओके, डबल डैश से हम लोग पहले ही मूव कर चुके हैं. अब यहाँ पे हम एक नया फोल्डर क्रिएट करते हैं, किस नाम से, नॉट इनसाइड दिस यार. ओके, जस्ट क्रिएटेड पाइथन not python, it is python app. I basically why this created this like default name, because you will understand the notes also. So here what like main.py is our python file. Inside that just I write print statement. We also write a program of like hello world and calculation program. All the programs are running in this. So just a little bit I think. So hello ये यहाँ पे हो गया ठीक. So completely we are done. Okay. So we are done with this. अब हमको क्या करना है, आगे मैप करना है. So we are completed with all the steps here. So like this is the sort of program which you run. Okay. So give me a second. Okay. So just cd double dot cd python p double p. Move to this and here just I write cd python so we are on this. Just write the command which is here docker run/it/v. ये भी सेम काम कर रहा है, बट यहाँ पे मैं एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ कि बेसिकली कौन सेक्शंस परफॉर्म कर रहा है. डॉकर क्या करेगा, एक रन करेगा कंटेनर को /it इंटरेक्टिव मोड में, डिटेक्ट इंटरेक्टिव भी चलेगा, बट /v करेगा, किसको मैप करेगा, अब क्या कर रहा है कि पाइथन की इमेज हमारे में प्रेजेंट नहीं है, ये क्या करेगा, PWD से हमारा करंट पाइथन प्रोग्राम को लेगा जो कि main.py होगा, इसको क्या करेगा, ऐप से मैप कर देगा, फिर पाइथन डॉट अल्पाइन की इमेज हम लोगों के डॉकर हब से लेगा, और पाइथन लिखते हैं ना जैसे हर प्रोग्राम, वी इफ यू वांट टू रन एनी प्रोग्राम विद द हेल्प ऑफ कमांड टर्मिनल, जस्ट आफ्टर दिस अल्पाइन वी जस्ट राइट अ पाइथन फाइल नेम which we have to run. Till here we have to map our with APP app. So just give me a second. Till here, if you have any problem, slash IP slash.
No, Rudransh.
Okay, so here slash IT slash P. Mhm. So just rewrite the path PWD and just close. We map it to the app APP. We just write the the image name Python अल्पाइन. अल्पाइन का मतलब है कि एक लेटेस्ट इमेज नहीं लेगा, स्पष्टली जो आई है वो लेगा. अब हमको क्या करना है, पाइथन इस प्रोग्राम को रन कराना. पाइथन हमको कोई, व्हाई आई रिमूव द स्लैश पी, इफ एनीवन कैन एक्सप्लेन व्हाई आई रिमूव द स्लैश पी. स्लैश पी हमने इसलिए रिमूव किया है क्योंकि हम लोग पब्लिश नहीं कराना है, हमको अपने इसी डेस्कटॉप पे रन कराना है. गिव मी अ सेकंड, शायद केस हो जाऊंगा. Okay, its internet network is fluctuating. So just I write Python here. Python. Keshav, are you here? Oh, Keshav. Okay, just write Python and slash app में जाएगा और क्या करेगा, main.py को रन करेगा. सो यू क्लियरली सी पाइथन अल्पाइन इमेज मेरे डेस्कटॉप में प्रेजेंट ही नहीं था. ये क्या कर रहा है, अनेबल टू फाइंड इमेज लोकली. अब ये क्या करेगा, डीमन में रिक्वेस्ट भेजेगा, वहां से इमेज लेगा. द रिक्वेस्ट गोज टू डीमन, अनेबल टू फाइंड इमेज, एरर रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम डीमन, गेट नेट टीएलई हैंडशेक टाइम आउट. Okay, just we write again this command. I think we have to open the Docker desktop this time. Sometimes it did get the problem. Okay, there is a problem with TLE handshake. Okay. This problem is occurring. हम लोगों ने स्लैश पी इसलिए रिमूव किया था क्योंकि वो हमको पब्लिश नहीं करना है, हमको किसी आउटपुट पे नहीं दिखाना है, हमको अपने डेस्कटॉप पे रन करना है. स्लैश पी इज बेसिकली मीन्स व्हाट, स्लैश पी इज बेसिकली मीन्स दैट we have to publish in a site. So we would not publish in a site. So just open this Docker desktop from here. So here you can see a Docker desktop is running. This time I think the command is performed clearly. Meet maybe. You just write it docker run slash it slash v python alpine python app dot mean dot py. Okay, I think clearly the command is running. Unable to find images. Error response from daemon head registry docker io, get the docker authentication context deadline client timeout while awaiting headers. Okay, I think the problem is occurring. Sometimes we have to stop all this firstly. I think just to stop the docker also. Put here.
Rudransh, please wrap up fast.
Yes, within 1 or 2 to 5 minutes, I am wrapping. So here we just stop all the processes. Okay. So just here open again Docker desktop. Why the TLS command are coming? Okay. I think starting Docker engine sometimes takes time. Simultaneously we can't start, otherwise it will take a much time. So here you can see only one image is running. So just write it here. Okay, so just write it here. Here we are run here. Docker run /it/v Python Alpine. I think this time it is working. Unable to find Python image locally. Come on. From Docker daemon TLE handshake timeout. Okay, so give me a second, guys. Just write it here. Docker run /it Python Alpine. अगर इमेज नहीं अवेलेबल कर पा रहा है फिच तो हो सकता है यहाँ से कर ले. एरर रिक्वेस्ट डॉकर डीमन, एक सेकेंड. डॉकर रन हेल्प. So what TLE handshake? Timeout to stop the container. Okay, not okay. So so if you struck with these types of problems, then just don't like hesitate. Just copy this here and try to use the help of ChatGPT, because ChatGPT sometimes answer fastly and you doesn't take care of problems of all the stuffs. Just write it here, Control V. Whatever the answer then to attempt to pull the image, the occurs due to network connectivity issues. I tell you sometimes it problems. Test Docker desktop, Docker pull test. You can manually trying pulling an image if the issue pursues. Docker DNS. Sometimes the network come into the problem. So just I explain in next session I run the command. Here you can see whatever the things. Just you write this command alpine just pwd maps to APP. Python alpine क्या करेगा, इस image को docker hub से ले लेगा, उसके बाद python और ये app main.py से directly ये program run करा देगा और hello print हो जाएगा. Whatever you write inside your program, the program is executed on your desktop right now. So just we move here all of the like Docker files, whatever why this is Docker files is needed and all the stuffs. So Docker files is needed when you have to create a custom image, like for the application of Python to Mongo interaction, you have to create a Docker file and sorry, you have to create an image, and that image is on your Docker file. Docker file is a set of file system layers, and for the MongoDB interaction, you just implement a FS layers on upper layer of Docker file, and the custom image is created in your desktop. After that, the new command for which is useful for like the interaction, which is MongoDB with MongoDB. So Docker files, Docker right here, Docker build basically build a custom image. Sometimes you don't have available images on your Docker hub. You have to work manually. Then you just write Docker build command. Build is building an image. Dot location is your current directory. T is add the name with tag like alpine and latest. Tag is also okay. So name of the image and tag latest and all the stuffs. So one of the Docker files, the command in my next session, I will explain from run and CMD. These are basic things. Like from Ubuntu, what is Ubuntu is a Docker file. Run apt गेट अपडेट। सो ये क्या करेगा कि एक एक्शन परफॉर्म करेगा जिससे आपकी उबंटू फाइल में एक इमेज की एफएस लेयर्स और इंप्लीमेंट हो जाएगी, डॉकर फाइल अपडेट हो जाएगी। और सीएमडी क्या करेगा, बेसिक एको कमांड को रन करा देगा आपके उस पे। सो ये बेसिकली एक्शन परफॉर्म होगा इन कस्टम्स sample Python application which writes reads from the MongoDB. I will explain my next session. So thank you to you all. So give me a second. I think I again run. If this is processed correctly, then you can also understand. Otherwise, some network issues. You can clearly see there is a network issue or a configuration error. I will check and I will resolve it. Okay, so here is a error coming like consistently. So give me a little second, like just I write docker image
Rudransh, please fast, complete it
images.
fast.
Give me a second. Images only 1 to 2 minutes. Just I write docker rmi and the image id of this. Just copy it here. Mhm. Just here, just paste it. So image is completely deleted. Just I write docker ps. I perform some tle. So there is no image is running. I think this time the image or all the stuffs are performing. So this time if not perform, then I explain how the programs runs next. Come on. So it will get a random error. So in next session, I will explain this concept. Thank you to you all. If you have any doubt, then ask.
No,
No
we don't have any.
question.
So I take it over to Kushagra to continue.
Okay, thank you.
Let's start.
गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। थोड़ा सा पहले बेसिक रिवाइज कर लेते जो पहले लेक्चर में मेरा हो चुका था। तो मैंने पढ़ा अभी तक इंट्रोडक्शन टू पाइथन। इंट्रोडक्शन टू पाइथन में मैंने क्या क्या पढ़ लिया, व्हाई पाइथन इज यूज्ड, and then we have discussed about a syntax. Then we discussed a Python comment and a single line comment, multi-line comment. Simply, if you want to write a single line comment, we can use hash. And if you want to use a multi-line comment, we can use a quote. Then we have discussed about a variable. What is variable? Variable is nothing, just a name given to a data and a value. You have something value and you have given assigned a name to it, then we consider it as a variable, a name location. Okay, then what we have discussed, like this, you can say a Jacob is a name. So we have defined a variable called student. A 19 is the age of a Jacob, so we define a 19 as its age. So there are, we have discussed some naming rules. And what are data types? Now, data type is nothing, just a type of data. What is data type? A data type is a type of value, whether it is integer yani कि number type value or a float type value, or you can say us whether it is a string or not. So data type defines you a type of value. Okay, then we have discussed about how a variable is stored in a Python and a traditional programming language like C and C++. So today we will discuss you all about a scope. Then we will move from in scope. There are two types: scope, global scope, and variable scope. A local scope. Then we will discuss about typecasting in Python. Then we will discuss about a basic input output function. A basic Input output function. What are basic input output function? Print, then we end parameter, step parameter. Then we will discuss two programs in Python. What are first of all area of rectangle. Then we will discuss about a swap of two numbers. So let us start my today's session with what is scope. I think you all heard about scope. Scope is, you can say, accessibility of a variable. What is scope? Accessibility of a variable. A scope is accessibility of a variable. If you have two variables, a comma b, and you have a set of programs, a complete program, and you have some sub part of program p1, p2, p3, p4. Whether we can use this variable to this part of program, this variable to this part of program, and this we call as a scope. If if the sub program p1, p2, p3, and p4 are eligible to access this value, then we can call as this variable is within a scope. Within a scope. And if these are not able to access variable, then you can consider as this variable is out of scope for this sub part of program. So you all know about what is scope. There are two types of scope. One scope is a global scope, and another is a local scope. So if there is a variable a comma b, and it is accessible to p1, p2, p3, and p4, we have assigned a variable once, and we are able to use in every sub part of program, then we can consider this variable as a global scope. If this subpart of program P1 has created two variables, what are those? C, comma D. Then C, comma D is defined as a local scope. And like P3 has created E, comma F. If the subpart P3 want to access this variable, whether it is accessed, if P3 want to access this variable C, comma D, then it is not allowed in Python programming. So P3 have to create a new variable if he want to use. And in Python, it is not possible that the one subpart of program can use the variable of another subpart of program. Same with P4. P4 is also unable to use this part of variable. Yes, it can create a new variable like g, comma h, but P4 is not eligible to use the variable which is assigned in a local scope. So then we will firstly we will cover all this topic theoretic. Then we will move forward to a VS Code for the practical execution of such topic. The second topic is typecasting. So typecasting is basically a conversion of one data type to another. Conversion of one data type to another. Like you have one data. What is data type? I have tell you like this. Data type is a type of value, whether it is integer, float, or a string. So typecasting is also of two types: implicit type conversion, implicit type conversion, and another one is explicit type conversion. The conversion of the variable from, if we create just a variable equal to 5, b equal to 10, then program itself assign its data type as a int in if we create a equal to 5.2, then a program itself considers its type as a float. So this type of conversion is called as implicit type conversion, which is done by a computer itself. If we are forcing to convert int to a float data type, if we are forcing to convert int into a string data type, then this type of type conversion is known as explicit type conversion. And this type of conversion is known as explicit type conversion. Now we will discuss all about such topic in a visual scope. So first of all, we will discuss about a global scope. We will discuss about a global scope. What is global scope? That we can assign a variable first. Variable like int a. Like we have created a global scope. I have named one variable, and this is considered as the string type of variable in which we have defined a string called a global scope. And then we have created one function, def. In a function, we want to use, we will print the value of this x. What we are going to print? We are going to print value of x. Okay. Then we will just call this function. So the output will be a value of global scope. Here you can see that. If we just create this variable inside a function and we change it from I change this value local scope, then we are going to print a value of x. And again, we are calling this function. What will it will print? It will print a value of local scope. Now we want to use this print function outside the function. Are we able to use this value? Then if we print the function outside, let us try. An exception has occurred, name as a name error, because we are not able to use the value which is defined in a local scope, and we want to use it explicitly. Now, if we have created one more value, x is equal to 10. Now we have to change the value. It's equal to 20, y equal to 20. And I have created a function def sum. And now again, I want to change this global value. Are we able to use this? Are we able to change this value or not? Let us see. Y equal to y minus 1. Print. We call the function. Okay. No, we can't use the global. Oh, we cannot use those. Is not associated with any value. There is an error, unbound local error occur. Cannot access the local variable. Why? Where it is not associated with a value. So let us discuss it
Kushal,
earlier. Yes, Kishore. Actually,
on
I
the
was
right
not
hand
able
side,
to remove.
on the
Okay.
right hand side of unbound local error, there is a cross button. So if you click that,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much, Kishore.
Now continue.
Okay. Okay. So what we are discussing here, scope accessibility of a variable. ओके फिर हमने कोई दो वेरिएबल बनाए उसको हम यूज करना चाह रहे थे सबसे कुछ अंदर प्रोग्राम्स में अगर हम यूज कर पा रहे हैं इस प्रोग्राम को तो हम लोग बोल सकते हैं कि हाँ वो स्कोप को हम यूज कर सकते थे अगर हम प्रोग्राम को यूज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं तो बेसिकली आउट ऑफ स्कोप है दो तरीके के स्कोप ग्लोबल लोकल अगर मैंने दो वेरिएबल बनाए और उनको मैं यूज कर पा रहा हूँ प्रोग्राम के अंदर किसी भी सब पार्ट में तो वो मेरा क्या हो गया मेरा ग्लोबल स्कोप हो गया है और लोकल स्कोप अगर मैंने उसी सब पार्ट के अंदर मैंने फिर से उस प्रोग्राम को बनाया होगा तो फिर अब बात करते हैं प्रोग्राम में बनाता हूँ टाइप कास्टिंग का पहले एक लोकल वेरिएबल का एक मैं बनाता हूँ डेफ इसी को बना लेते हैं now we are going to create a local scope let us discuss about local scope I created a function def who okay then I pass a name okay I want to print the name oh, this is an example of a local scope now we will discuss about a typecasting in executable manner okay चलो करो now we are going to discuss about the typecasting you know what is typecasting? Typecasting is the conversion of one data type to other. So firstly, we will discuss about implicit typecasting. Implicit typecasting. So we have created a one variable val equal to we have assigned a value in it a val equal to 5. Okay, then we are going to value print its val type print. We have used the print function, and I want to use the type of this variable. So type val value. What it will be print? It will print the type of value. A class int. Class int. This is the int type of value. And again, we have created one more value equal to 8.0. This is the float type value. We can all know that. And 9.0. Okay. And we have created a multiplication of those variables. And now we are going to print a type of m. Type of m. See that I have created one variable, float type variable, and again we have created another float type variable. And now we are using an operation, multiply operation in a variable m. So now we want to find out what is the type of the variable after the multiplication. So simply I use a type function inside the print. So now run this value and now we can see that a class float class. So what is it? This is a implicit type conversion. Now we will move forward to understand the explicit type conversion. Explicit type conversion. In explicit type conversion, I have created a variable a in which a float type value is stored, a equal to 5.9, and I have created another variable, and I am assigning a value a to it by typecasting it to an integer. And now we wanted to you see that whether it is and the variable n is using the value of a or not. So we will print first n, then we are going to print the type of the variable n. So simply we will write a type n. So we will see the result. What is the result will be happen? See, I have created a variable, a float type variable 5.9, and I typecasted it to an integer in a variable n. So then I print a function. It converts 5.9 to 5 to its smallest possible integer value. Then I am using print type function in which the type of the print a variable n is stored. This is a integer type of conversion. What is this? This is an explicit type conversion. Okay. Now we are going forward to understand. Now we have done with typecasting, scope, typecasting. Now we will discuss about a basic input-output function. A basic input-output function. Firstly, we will discuss print. There's nothing to tell you about the print. If you want to print something, hello world, you can simply use only print function, and you can open a bracket, and whatever you want to write, you can write in a double quote. So the next function I want to use and if you print something like print source, then in another line you again print content. So the output will be as like a source and a content. But I want to see the output in a single line by writing it into a like this. अगर मैंने एक प्रिंट फंक्शन ऐसे लिखा दूसरा प्रिंट फंक्शन ऐसे लिखा और मेरे को चाहिए कि मेरा जो आउटपुट है वो एक ही लाइन पे आए, अलग अलग लाइन पे ना आए, तो इस चीज को कौन सही करता है मेरा वी कैन यूज एंड फंक्शन and is a type parameter. Okay, so if I write like print content source and I just simply comma and dash, again I use print content. So what will my output? My output will be like source dash content. If I don't want any dash here, we can simply use and a quote, single quote here. It will give you a space. So output will be source dash space content. Then we can use a separation. Sorry, we can't use inside end, anything inside end. We can simply use a single quote. In a if we want to apply a dash in between source and content, then we will use SAP. Inside SAP, you can use @ you can use dash, you can store any special symbol you wanted to use. So let's try this in a VS Code. So I am printing print source, just so you are source and print content. What will be my output? My output will be source and content, but my output is, and now I want to use this in a single line. So I will simply write comma and and okay, what will be output then? Source content. If I give a space in it, a single quote, then what will be my output? A source and content. जैसा मेरे को चाहिए था वैसा मेरा आ गया। जब मैंने क्या यूज किया, एंड में हमने स्पेस यूज कर लिया। अगर मैं चलो 2-3 स्पेस और दे देता हूँ तब क्या आउटपुट आएगा मेरा? उसी स्पेस का दोनों मेरे वर्ड्स के बीच में गैप आ गया। अब मेरे को यूज करना है सेपरेटर। अगर मैं सेपरेटर यूज करना चाहता हूँ तो एंड की जगह मैं क्या यूज कर लूँ? सेप। Firstly, we will pass nothing in a sep, then see what will be the output. Say, choose. It will work on the content. I want to pass it. Comma, sorry. तो अगर सोर्स और कंटेंट, मैंने दो वर्ड चीज प्रिंट के अंदर हमने दो चीज पास कर, एक सोर्स पास किया, एक कंटेंट पास किया, अलग अलग सेपरेशन का कॉमा पे। फिर मैंने सेपरेशन पैरामीटर यूज किया, उसके अंदर मैंने सिंगल क्वोट के अंदर कुछ भी पास नहीं किया। तो सिंपली ये जो दोनों मेरे वर्ड्स हैं वो मेरे क्या हो गए? मर्ज हो गए एक ही में, सोर्स कंटेंट। अब मैं चाहता हूँ इसके अंदर मैं एक डैश यूज कर लूँ, तो अब क्या हो जाएगा कि दोनों वर्ड मेरे एक डैश से सेपरेट हो जाएंगे, सोर्स कंटेंट। इसके आगे मैं कोई स्पेशल सिंबल यूज करना चाहूँ, एट द रेट, सोर्स एट द रेट कंटेंट। Now we will discuss about two Python programs. Area of rectangle. So in area rectangle, you just need one value, another, and you just want to its product. Basically, length is length into breadth. So if you want to create length, how you will create length, then how you will create breadth. So just simply pass a length equal to typecast its value, and you will use input. Input यानी कि हम इसमें वैल्यू पास कर सकते हैं। अगर हमें, मेरे को जो भी वैल्यू से प्रिंट करानी, इंटर अ वैल्यू, जो वैल्यू आए वो डिसाइड आउटपुट हो, इनपुट इंटर ब्रेड कर दिया मैंने। अब मेरे को क्या चाहिए? रेक्टेंगल चाहिए। तो रेक्टेंगल सिंपली मैंने क्या कर दिया? रेक्ट नाम की एक वेरिएबल ओपन है, जिसमें सिंपली मैंने करा दिया लेंथ इनटू ब्रेथ करा देंगे, और उसका जो प्रोडक्ट आएगा उसको हम लोग प्रिंट करा देंगे। सिंपली ये है मेरा एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल। अगर ऐसे ही मेरे को स्वैपिंग फंक्शन इससे करनी है, स्वैपिंग करने के लिए मेरे को एक वैल्यू चाहिए ए। ऐसे ही सिंपली ए में मैं एक टाइप पास कर दूंगा, उसके अंदर मैं यूजर से अगर मेरे को वैल्यू चाहिए तो इनपुट कर दूंगा और उसकी वैल्यू ले लूंगा मैं। फिर ऐसे एक वैल्यू और चाहिए बी, टाइप कास्ट, इनपुट, तो एक टेम्परेरी वेरिएबल। जैसे कि आप जावा, सी प्लस प्लस इन सब में करते हो, तो अगर एक मेरे को नया वेरिएबल क्रिएट करना है तो सिंपली सबसे ऊपर पहले हमें लिखना पड़ता है इन टेम्प। उसके अंदर कोई वैल्यू पास करें चाहे ना करें उससे मतलब नहीं। बट पाइथन में क्या है, सिंपली हम जहां हो रहा है मैं वहीं पे डायरेक्टली क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ, उसके अंदर वैल्यू भी तुरंत डाल सकता हूँ। तो temp इक्वल टू a, एक मेरा तुरंत ही एक न्यू वेरिएबल असाइन हो गया temp, उसके अंदर मैंने किसकी वैल्यू डाल दी, a डाल दी. इट इज समथिंग रिलेटेबल लाइक अ स्यूडो कोड. जैसे जैसे हम सोचते जा रहे हैं, हम इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज के तरीके हम करते जा रहे हैं, इसमें कोई भी मेरा कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं डिफिकल्ट है, ना ही कुछ डिफिकल्ट है. बस आपने अपना यहाँ पे ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म कर लिया स्वैपिंग का, उसके बाद आपने वैल्यू प्रिंट करा दी, सिंपली लाइक दैट. लेट अस टाइप दिस इन अ VS कोड. एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल, एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल. तो सबसे पहले मैंने क्या किया था, लेंथ बनाया था, तो मैंने फिर वही किया, लेंथ बना दिया. उसको मैंने टाइप कास्टिंग के लिए मैंने फ्लोट यूज कर लिया. अब मुझे चाहिए यूजर से इनपुट, तो इनपुट, इनपुट के अंदर मैंने पास कर दिया एक स्टेटमेंट, एंटर द वैल्यू ऑफ लेंथ. Then I created another variable, the breadth, उसको भी मैंने टाइप कास्ट करा दिया. Then input, because I want to take the input from the user, so we will just simply use a temp input function. Then I use enter the value of breadth. Now I want to perform my rectangle function here, so I use rectangle. So in that time we will simply pass the product of length and variable length and breadth, and I will print this rectangle. Print rectangle. If there is any error in this program, length, breadth, rectangle, and print. Let us try this in a. So the enter the value of length. I just pass 10. Enter the value of breadth. Here will be my result in a float data type. Now we will use a swap function. Swapping program. For swapping, what you need, you simply need a one variable a, b. Then I will create a local variable temp in which we will store the value of a. Then in a we will pass the value of b. B is empty now. And in b we will pass the value of temp. And simply we will print out. Swapping of number. After swapping of number, value of a, value of a is a. Value of b is, I have done with my code. Let us try. Enter the value of length. Okay, no problem. Let us try this. This is the value of a, this is the value of b. And now my value of a is 4.0 and the value of b is 2.0. So now I'm done with my content. I'll share the notes of today's lecture. Now, Keshav, there is any question regarding today's lecture?
No, I don't have any doubts.
No doubt.
Now you, now you can proceed further.
Okay.
Thank you.
ओके तो सो लाइक अभी मेरे वीएस कोड नहीं चल रहा था बिकॉज मेरा फोन मेरे रूम में रखा हुआ था और वहाँ पे नेट कनेक्टिविटी आ नहीं रही थी। मुझे होस्ट करने के लिए भी मतलब साइमल्टेनियसली मुझे नेट एक्सेस करना होता है। सो जैसे ही मैंने नेट थोड़ा अपने कनेक्टिविटी चेंज करी, सो जो मेरा मेरा प्रोग्राम था यहाँ पे वीएस कोड में, ये क्लियरली देख सकते हैं, ये क्लियरली रन करा पूरी तरीके से। यहाँ पे देखिए, हेलो हेलो इज मेंशन हियर। ओके, so if just I write hello, hello, like my name Rudransh, okay, and this time is just if just I write docker run, enter, so hello Rudransh is running. And after that, if you see here docker ps, the contain no container is running because after running the this python program main.py, my container is go to the stop mode. Because of this problem, then again if I run the program again, docker run, then a new container is created and that action is performed. That's why we use a mongo in your docker, inside the docker engine, like a linux tiny machine. So here you can see like unable to find image locally, TLS. Sometimes TLS is occur due to a configuration, and TLS problem also occur due to a network connectivity. So this time a problem that is the network connectivity. Here you can see if I change, then when I change the network, then it pull from the Docker hub and it clearly performs the action. And just because I pull that and I am not in the directory Python, just I change my directory cd Python app, and then I perform the same command and the command is running. So by the help of this, like Kushag tell us how to run program, we simply combine all the program and just call the docker container with the help of this simple command docker run /it/v। it means interactive terminal, v मतलब मैपिंग करनी है हमको। अगर हमको किसी डेस्कटॉप पे दिखाना है तो /p यूज करेंगे पब्लिश फॉर्म में, बट हमको पब्लिश नहीं करना, हमको अपने टर्मिनल में रन करना है। तो जस्ट राइट pwd को ऐप में असाइन कर देंगे, इस इमेज को इंपोर्ट करेंगे और पाइथन यहाँ पे सिंपल कमांड जो हमको रन करानी है वो लिख देंगे। सो थैंक यू ऑल, थैंक यू। I completed my session also. Keshav, this time if you want, start.
Yes, I am starting. Please wait for a while. Please give me confirmation whether you all can see my screen or not, and my audio is also coming or not.
Yes, both are good and coming also.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Keshav, and today is my second lecture related to SQL 02. As I have started my series from my previous sessions, I have started a series related to SQL, which is a structured query language, and today is the second presentation of mine related to SQL. So, good evening again. Now I am continuing what I will cover. So firstly, I will cover a recap portion of my previous presentation in 5 to 6 minutes so that it will be easy for you to make a proper connectivity with me. Now, in my previous presentation, what I have covered, wait a minute. So in my previous presentation, I have started with SQL 01. And the topics that I have covered in my previous presentation are what is data and information, what is database, types of databases, what is DBMS, what is RDBMS, and introduction to basic introduction to SQL. This I will cover in today's presentation also. This last one, introduction to SQL. So I have said what is data. So data is a collection of raw tokens which generally do not have a meaning when we combine it, but it can have meaning and it may not have meaning, but generally in majority of the percentage cases, raw data cannot have a general meaning. When we do a pre-processing over that data, then that data have a meaningful, what I have to say, meaningful statement. That data transforms into a meaningful statement, and that meaningful statement is called information. So this I have covered what is information and what is data, and then after I have told what is databases, how data can transfer into information, and when it is converted into information, then among these four, NoSQL, hierarchical, network, and relational, among these four, it will stored in a database. What type of database it can be? It can be database can be of the form NoSQL, hierarchical, network, and relational. इन चारों ये जो चार तरीकों की डेटाबेसेस है, अगर मेरा डेटाबेस नो सिक्वल टाइप का है, तो वो नो सिक्वल डेटाबेस में वो इन्फॉर्मेशन जाएगी। उस अगर मेरा डेटाबेस हिरारिकल टाइप का है, तो इन्फॉर्मेशन मेरे हिरारिकल बेस से स्टोर होगी। सिमिलरली इन केस ऑफ नेटवर्क एंड रिलेशनल। सो डीबीएमएस क्या करता है? डीबीएमएस it gives us the authority to perform operations over a data that is stored in our database. So with the help of dbms only, we can perform the operations over the database where our data is stored. So this I have already covered. These are the type of databases. Here you can see hierarchical, NoSQL database, network, and relational database. So these are the types of databases. Here are the examples you can see. The examples on each type of databases. And this is then after I have told you what is DBMS, these are the points. DBMS offers us several functions that help us to overcome problems associated with file-based system. So this much I have covered in my earlier presentation. So when our DBMS uses a table to store the data, then that DBMS we called it as relational DBMS, or the management system which performs over that DBMS, then that management system we called it as relational database management system. मतलब अगर मेरा डेटाबेस में जो डेटा स्टोर हो रहा है, अगर वो टेबल की फॉर्म में स्टोर हो रहा है, तो उस समय पे जो आरडीएमएस मेरा एक वो सिस्टम है जो कि मुझे अथॉरिटी प्रोवाइड करता है, जो कि मेरा अथॉरिटी प्रोवाइड करता है कि हम ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म कर सकें डेटाबेस में, उस डेटाबेस में जो कि रिलेशनल डेटा स्टोर करे हुए हैं। ओके, तो ये मेरा आरडीएमएस था. दिस इज द आरडीएमएस दैट आई हैव कवर्ड. तो दिस मच आई हैव कवर्ड इन माय प्रीवियस प्रेजेंटेशन. सो आई विल क्रॉस इट आउट. So this is the recap portion that I have covered. Now next is doubts. So Kushag had asked me the doubts. He has asked me doubt related to examples how the data is stored in different types of databases in my previous presentation. So I have told at that time to him that I will cover this in my next presentation. So now I will go through that. Wait a minute. So, Kushag, please try to be focused. Here I have written, wait a minute, how data is stored inside NoSQL. So, if our database is NoSQL type, like example of NoSQL database is MongoDB. This is MongoDB. Sorry. If our database is NoSQL type, means the data which is stored inside the database is not in the form of logical tables, logically linked tables. It is basically in the form of JSON format. So here you can see this is how the data looks, which is stored inside MongoDB database. So here you can see this is the starting cursor and this is the ending cursor. Here you can see the what I have to say, the data is stored in the form of key value pairs, and this special type of data representation is called JSON format. So in MongoDB, which is a NoSQL type database, if the data is stored inside that database, then data is look like this only. So here you can see this is in the JSON format. Now, so this is, wait a minute. So this is how data looks. Now, if the database is in a hierarchical type, wait a minute, I will make this correct. This is, here it is written like in MongoDB, I have to remove this. So I will remove it when I will provide you the slides of today. So here you can see if our database is hierarchical database, then this is how a sample example you can see. This is how a tree with a it basically uses a data type structure to store the data. So here you can see the example general manager. The types of general manager can be deputy general manager and then deputy general manager, and these are the four types of. And then after it is subdivided into sales department, advertisement department, and this is how our data is stored in hierarchical database. So I will make it correct these slides. So next is how data is stored in network database. So in network database, the data which is stored inside network database in the form of nodes links with relational format. Means the data which is stored inside network database is in the form of nodes which are linked with each other and can access each other with the help of proper connectivity through the internet or what I have to say with a general server. So here you can see this is a wait a minute. Here you can see A1 collection. A1 collection is referring from this A and this is B. Here you can see. I will wait a minute. I will make this clear. Here you can see these are the three tables: A1 dot collection, A2 dot collection, B2 dot. These are not tables. Firstly, these are the nodes, and these nodes are connected with these. Here you can see linking format with A and B servers. So like this, if A1 dot collection want to access the B2 dot collection, so firstly it will have to link with B server, and then B server will provide this access to B2 collection and the data which is there inside the B2 collection. So this is how the network database works. So as per my series, I will not cover this, and I also have a depth knowledge. I have also not have depth knowledge related to network database. So generally, this is example which you can see how they are working. But as per my series, I will continue with relational database. So this is general example here which this is basically given for you so that you can relate how data is stored. Like so, next is now, this is how data is stored inside a relational database. This is the part which we will follow up to the end of this SQL series. So this is how data is stored inside the database in the form of tables. So here you can see this is an employee table with columns names as employee ID, first name, last name as F name and L name, designation, department and salary. So with each column there is a lot of data what I have to say, data schemas are written. Data schemas instances are written. Here you can see first instance is one John Doe developer IT and 12,000. So this is the first instance of a schema. Schema is employee ID, F name, L name, designation, department, and salary. So when we combine all the name of attributes as a set, then we refer that attributes as schema. अगर हम एक सेट डिक्लेयर करते हैं जिसके अंदर एम्प्लॉय आईडी एफ नेम एल नेम डेजिग्नेशन डिपार्टमेंट एंड सैलरी तो उसको हम स्कीमा बोलेंगे और उस सेट का कोई भी अगर एक पर्टिकुलर हम लोग रो एक्सट्रैक्ट आउट करते हैं तो उस रो को बोलेंगे इंस्टेंस ऑफ स्कीमा एग्जांपल में अगर मैं लिखूं 10 like here you can see ninth line as 9 George Tyler coordinator HR with salary as 10,200 तो ये मेरा जो है ये मेरा एक स्कीमा का इंस्टेंस है तो ये डिफरेंस है ये इस तरह से हम लोग रिलेशनल डेटाबेस में डेटा स्टोर करते हैं तो दिस इज हाउ वी कैन store the data inside the relational database system. I will cover all this in brief in my future slides. So this is how we can store the four types of data in the four types like if we store the data in NoSQL, so this is the how the data can be represented as. If we store in hierarchical database, so this is how the database can be represented as. And now, if we store in network database, so with the nodes and with the links and server, this is how the database can be uh, written as can be depicted as. And next is if we store the data in relational database, so this is how we can look how data is represented. So this is how we can store the data in different types of databases. So Kushak, if you feel any doubts still here, then you can ask.
No question, Keshav.
Okay. If anyone else can feel, then he or she can ask.
No.
So, so now topics that I've covered in this presentation, today's presentation are introduction to SQL, what we can do if we use SQL, examples of vendors that set up the servers for SQL database. Fourth is SQL versus MySQL. Fifth one is installation of MySQL. And sixth one is understanding MySQL Workbench and MySQL Shell. And last one is running basic commands in both SQL Workbench and Shell. So these are the topics that I will cover in today's presentation. So here you can see these are all the topics that I will cover today. Now next is the introduction to SQL. Introduction to SQL. So here you can see I have written definition like introduction to SQL as firstly I want to tell you full form of SQL is structured query language. It is used to manage data in all relational databases like DB2, Oracle, SQL Server, etc. SQL stands and maintained by ISO. The full form of ISO is International Organization for Standardization. So this is the organization which basically fix the standards which a particular, what I have to say, particular companies or particular technologies has to follow. This is the basic
Like
standards that are defined by
when I
what?
run I run a virtual machine, then I need a ISO file. So ISO is basically a standard provided by the organization to follow and to work on that standards. Am I right, Keshav?
Yes, yes, you are right, you are right. Because when you have like if I will talk about virtual box because this is a part like when you will install a virtual box for installing any other operating system like Linux or other Ubuntu, then at that time you have installed one file as a ISO file, I think. Am I right, Rutansh?
Yes, yes.
So in that file, the standards are written how standard as well as code also. So this file will tell us whether a particular syntax which you are following while writing while installing the particular operating system in virtual machine. So these standards, if you will follow, then only you can properly run that operating system inside the virtual box. So these are the standards that are defined by ISO, this organization, International Organization of Standardization. Okay. Now, while most database products comply with the ISO standard, they also offer additional uh, proprietary features. So other features are also provided by international organizations. So this is general. Now next is the full form of SQL is structured query language. I already told. Now next is SQL is a program created and formulated in relational database management system to handle structured data. It was initially named as SQL, structured English query language developed edition. When in an initial phase, if I will talk, then while when SQL is launched, then it is launched with the name as SEQL. Full form is structured English query language in a developed phase. When the SQL is in developing phase, then initially it was regarded as SQL. Now, eventually, with the future, the name is changed to SQL. So this is the introduction to SQL. Here you can see these are the this I have included one picture also. So this is how physically databases look like. So here you can see this is a server hub. So next is what we can do if we use SQL. So what are the properties that SQL will provide us? So SQL will provide us so that it will be easy for us to connect and retrieve our data from a database. So here I have written like some points. SQL is a standard language used for interacting with relational databases, like relational databases where the data is stored in the form of tables. It allows users to retrieve, insert, update, and delete data, making it a cornerstone of data management. So these are the operations that we can perform over this relational database with the help of SQL. Like the operations are insert, update, delete, and other operations also. I will cover when the time came. When then the time will come. Now the first is data retrieval, extracting data from tables based on specific criteria. We will
Keshav,
provide some
wait a minute.
criteria.
Keshav, wait a minute.
What?
Guys, join with the same link which I have provided because 1 to 2 minutes the meeting is ended. Join with the same link which I provided in the group.
Okay, okay.
Continue.
Uh, Wait a minute. I have
Join
to
with the
continue
same
or
link. No, no, no. Join with the same link. I just ended because the time is 1 minute left. So
I am discussing what we can do if we use the SQL. So these are the what I have to say. These are the features that are provided by SQL like data retrieval, data modification, data definition, and data control. So, what is data retrieval? Extracting data from tables based on specific criteria. While working with SQL, we provide some criteria. So, according to that criteria, SQL will extract out some data from our database. So, this is the way how data retrieval generally performs over our relational databases. I will cover this with the practical implementation when will be the time come. Now, next is data modification. We can also modify our data, modify our existing data that is present in our database with the help of queries. Uh, when we will provide some queries, and according to that queries, we can modify our data which is there in our database. Now, third point is data definition, creating and managing database tables and their structure. When we are working with the relational database, generally we create databases in our regular basis and tables also inside those databases. So for creating a table and creating a database, we use data definition language or data definition language queries to creating and managing database tables and their structure. Now, last one is data control, defining user permission and access control for database objects. Like डेटा कंट्रोल ऐसे कहा जा सकता है जैसे एक डेटाबेस है, हम उसमें कुछ पर व्हाट आई से कंस्ट्रेंट्स लगा देते हैं, लाइक दिस पर्टिकुलर डेटाबेस can accessible to what type of persons, like if I will take talk as an if I will take a real life examples like ERP system. College ERP system consists of number of types of databases, but लाइक बहुत सारे डेटाबेस का कलेक्शन होता है अगर हम किसी ईआरपी सिस्टम को कंसीडर करते हैं, कॉलेज के ईआरपी सिस्टम को। तो अगर स्टूडेंट्स, क्या उस डेटाबेस में हर तरह का डेटा होगा, स्टूडेंट्स का डेटा होगा, टीचर्स का डेटाबेस होगा, एचओडीज का डेटाबेस होगा, लेकिन जब हम डेटाबेस को एक्सेस करना, क्या स्टूडेंट्स वेदर द स्टूडेंट्स कैन एक्सेस द सैलरी रिलेटेड टू देयर टीचर्स, क्या स्टूडेंट अपने टीचर्स को जो सैलरी मिले क्या उसका डेटा देख सकता है? नहीं देख सकता है। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि डेटाबेस प्रेजेंट नहीं है, डेटाबेस प्रेजेंट है सर्वर पे, लेकिन हम उसमें कुछ कंट्रोल लगा देते हैं कि पर्टिकुलर डेटाबेस कैन एक्सेसिबल टू व्हाट टाइप ऑफ क्लाइंट्स, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ यूजर्स कैन एक्सेस व्हाट टाइप ऑफ डेटाबेसेस। तो एक एक जनरली हम लोग कंस्ट्रेंट लगा देते हैं कि एक पर्टिकुलर डेटाबेस किन किन तरह के लोगों को एक्सेसिबल है। सो आई थिंक आई एम क्लियर विद दिस कॉन्सेप्ट डेटा कंट्रोल। So now I'm moving forward. Now next is the example of vendors that set up the servers for SQL DB. So as we are generally moving forward towards the relational databases with while understanding the SQL. So these are the examples of vendors: Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, IBM DB2, SQLite, MariaDB, and Teradata. So what are vendors? Vendors, firstly, I will tell you. So vendors are the middleman type of thing. Like let's take an example. If like let's take an example like mhm. So like if I will consider one of the vendors from here list, one of the vendors like MySQL. So vendor क्या करता है, एक मेरा डेटाबेस है और जो एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस है, तो वो डेटाबेस हम लोगों को सर्वर पर डिप्लॉय करने में हेल्प करता है। तो ओरेकल, माइस्क्यूएल, ये जितने भी वेंडर्स हैं ये अपनी तरफ से हम लोगों को सर्विस प्रोवाइड करते हैं। जो भी हम लोग डेटाबेस बनाते हैं वो एक क्लाउड पे हम लोगों को प्रोवाइड करते हैं। एक्चुअली में जो हम लोग डेटाबेस आगे चल के बनाएंगे, द डेटाबेस विच वी विल मेक इन अवर फ्यूचर, so originally that databases are deployed over the cloud, and the deploying facility are giving by these vendors. So we can use either of these vendors, but I will use MySQL because MySQL is easy and it will not charge anything. It is free also, and it will not charge anything, and we can easily create database and tables inside our database with the help of MySQL. तो MySQL एक थर्ड पार्टी या मिडलमैन की तरह काम करता है, जो कि हम लोगों को डेटाबेस ओरिजिनली फिजिकली लोकेटेड पे क्लाउड में हम लोगों को डिप्लॉय करने की अथॉरिटी देता है। हम लोग अपने लोकल पीसी से डेटाबेस क्रिएट करेंगे, लेकिन ओरिजिनली कहाँ पे डेटाबेस का डेटा स्टोर हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है मेरे सर्वर पे, और वो जो सर्वर प्रोवाइड कर रहा है वो मेरा थर्ड पार्टी इन्हीं में से कोई भी हो सकता है, ओरेकल हो सकता है, माइस्क्यूएल हो सकता है, या बाकी जो एक्सेट्रा दिए हुए हैं इनमें से हो सकता है। तो these are the examples of vendor that set up the servers for SQL database. So now next is what is SQL versus MySQL. So now I will cover what is the difference between SQL and MySQL. So SQL is a structured query language which is used to talk about to our database. So SQL is a programming language which when we will apply over our database, then after we will get our desired results what we exactly want from our database. And MySQL is a database management system. It is actually a database management system which used SQL to talk with database. We will write SQL, and that SQL is go with that SQL program is managed by DBMS, the database management system, and in this case I am using database management system as MySQL. So MySQL will use that query which I have written in the form of SQL, and when that query will execute, then after we can easily connect it with our database and perform our queries. So MySQL is actually a database management system, or we call it as a vendor system or middleware system. We can use MySQL also and other vendors also, which I have included in my previous slide. So this is the basic difference between SQL and MySQL. So before moving forward, I want to ask if anyone feels any doubt, then he or she can ask.
No
Hello?
doubt.
Okay. Wait a
All
minute.
clear.
Okay. Now, thank you. Now, next is installation of MySQL. So, as we are working with MySQL, so firstly we have to see how we can install MySQL in our local computers, local PC. So we will see the installation part. Wait a minute. So firstly, you can select any of your favorite browsers. I'm in this case I am using a Chrome browser, and write MySQL in the input window, and then press enter. Here you can see a authentic site which is written as https colon double slash www.mysql.com. So you move to this website, and then after move here you can see this is the main homepage of this website, MySQL website, and move to this download section, and then after scroll down and move to this MySQL community GPL downloads. Here you can see this is the link, so you have to click on this link, and then after you can see another page is opened with many of the options. But as my local computer is Windows, so I will install MySQL installer for Windows, so I will click on this link. And then after here you can see uh, this is a page which is open, and according to your according to your local computer, it is automatically select a version for you and operating system also for you. But if in case it is not properly selected the version, then also you can manually select the version from here by dropping down this list and select version according to your PC as per your need. Now, after that, move to click on this download section, the first link, and then download. And then after here it is written no thanks, just start my download. Just click on this link. No thanks, just start my download. Here you can see a file is downloaded. MySQL installer web community 80.39.0 first MSI. Then after click on this downloaded file. Click on wait a minute. A minute. I will show you from here. Move to download section. Then after here you can see this is a file. MySQL installer web community. Double click on this and press yes. Then again yes. Here you can see MySQL installer is running, and here are four options is given: server only, client only, full, and custom. You have to select full and then move to next. And then if you want to change the installer directly, the installer path directory, then you can select the path from here. But as per my recommendation, don't try to change any of these things from here, and just press next. You have selectable. You still have warnings with your selected path. You still want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. And then execute all these files. Just press on execute. It will take some time according to internet speed, and then after it will download. Wait for some time. So it will take some time. You can see these are the basically the softwares that are downloaded with this MySQL installer. The first one is MySQL Server, MySQL Workbench, MySQL Shell, MySQL Router, MySQL documentation with sample examples, samples and examples. So these are all the files that are downloaded with that are downloaded with the help of MySQL installer. So wait for a while. It will take some time. Am I audible? My voice is coming, or is there any glitch?
100% accurate voice.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Rudrash. So here you can see all of my files are downloaded successfully. Then press next, and then again click on execute. So it will again download the rest of the files. So this will take some time. So till now, if anyone feels any type of doubt or query regarding my presentation slide that I've covered, so he or she can ask.
No, no.
Kushagra, everything is clear?
Yeah, everything clear till now.
Oh, if any newcomers want to ask anything, then he or she can also ask. So as my net is slow, so it will take some 1 to 2 minutes. So I have to wait. So generally, when this MySQL will installed in your desktop, it will have it will provide us two platforms generally as MySQL Workbench and another one is MySQL Shell. We can perform SQL queries in MySQL Workbench also and with MySQL command line shell also. So with the when MySQL is successfully installed on your PC, so it will provide us a platform. Please wait for some time as my internet speed is a little bit slow. MySQL shell is of larger size, about 500 MB. So this file will take some time. And router documentation samples examples are of less size, so it will not take much time. Please wait. Now here you can see all the files are successfully downloaded. Then press next, and then next again, and then next again. And this is a general authentication. Next again, current rules. So I want to tell you that previously I have installed my SQL when you will install MySQL first time, then you have to set a password. You have to set a password because I am installing it again. So it will asking me the password that I have already entered before when I previously installed the MySQL. So I will enter my previous password. When in your case you have to set up a new password, but in my case I have to enter my previous password. So please wait, and I will check this. Here you can see a tick mark is shown to us. Then press next, and then next again, and then execute these files, and then finish, and then next, and then finish, and then next again. And here I will enter my password again. Yeah, successfully. Wait a minute. And then I will check this. Here you can see when I have entered the password, I have successfully connected with my root database and connected with my server, MySQL server. Here you can see connection succeed. So what here is actually here is going on, like MySQL is provide me a server, and that server is creating one database by default, which is named as root. And with while creating a database, I have to enter a password. तो हो ये ऐसा रहा है कि जैसे MySQL ने एक सर्वर मुझे प्रोवाइड किया, तो सर्वर में एक डिफॉल्ट वो खुद ही एक डेटाबेस क्रिएट करता है इनिशियली। हम लोग चाहे तो बाद में रूट डेटाबेस डिलीट भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इनिशियली बाय डिफॉल्ट this database which is named as root is created by MySQL server, or what I have to say, MySQL by MySQL. तो ये मेरा डेटाबेस खुद क्रिएट होता है। अब ये डेटाबेस जब क्रिएट हुआ तो इस डेटाबेस को सक्सेसफुली MySQL सर्वर से कनेक्ट करने के लिए हमने जो स्टार्टिंग में पासवर्ड क्रिएट किया था, वो पासवर्ड जब हम एंटर करेंगे तभी ये मेरा सक्सेसफुली ये जो डेटाबेस है रूट, ये मेरा MySQL से कनेक्ट हो पाएगा। और जब हमने इसमें चेक किया तो ये कनेक्शन सक्सीड दिखा रहा है। जब हम लोग नेक्स्ट करेंगे तो then after I will tell you what is going on. Now I will again press on execute and then finish, and then next, and then finish again. Here you can see MySQL is successfully installed on your PC and MySQL Workbench is opened by default. So here you can see this is the view which we can see right now is MySQL Workbench. And here is the data, wait a minute. Here is the first, what it is, the first server is MySQL 80, and the temporary name of that server is root. And inside that root, when I will double click it and re-enter my older password again, and press enter. Here you can see here you can see a proper platform is shown to us, which here you can see there are the two parts in this section. First one is administration and second one is schemas. So inside the schemas, these are the databases. These are all the databases as bank database, college database, demo database, CBS, and these are and some other databases also which are present by default. So with the help of this Vibe SQL Workbench, we can see our database, how many database are there. And inside the database, if I will double click it, here you can see another option is there, tables. When I will double click inside the tables, here you can see two tables are also there, employees and person. So I just want to tell you that how hierarchy is there. Like in schemas consist of databases, and this is not that schema which I will tell you further. This is another type of schema that is related to MySQL Workbench. So here you can see inside the schema section, here is one of the database as bank database, which consists of table section, and table section consists of employees and persons. So this is how generally the things are look like inside the database. And if you will move on the top section of this, here you can see if you will click on this SQL and then plus icon, here you can see the file is created here, you and inside that file you can write the commands here in this section. So this is, wait a minute, don't save. So this is how things are looking in my SQL Workbench. So I just want to tell you one thing again. Like here you can see right now in this, wait a minute. Here you can see when I will click on a server status, when I will click on this server and move to this server status section, here you can see currently it is running, server status is running in my local personal computer. Server status is running, but sometimes an error is shown to us like status is not connected or it is failed to connect the server. Then at that time you have to just do the things which I will now tell you. Firstly, click on this Windows icon and select services. And when you will press enter, so here you can see one dialog box is shown to us. And when you will scroll down, here you will see one thing like here, MySQL 80. So currently it is running. And when when the case arises, when so जब ऐसा केस अराइज होता है कि जब तुम्हारा ये MySQL वर्कबेंच प्रॉपरली सर्वर से नहीं कनेक्ट होता है, तो ये रेड कलर का मेरे जो अभी ये ग्रीन कलर का शो हो रहा है सर्वर स्टेटस, वो रेड कलर का शो होगा। तो उस समय पे होता ये है कि MySQL 80 जो कि सर्विसेज होती है, वो मेरी रन नहीं कर रही होती है। तो उसको हम लोग मैन्युअली स्टार्ट करना होता है, राइट क्लिक करके, और यहाँ से स्टार्ट ऑप्शन होता है। क्योंकि अभी ये मेरी सक्सेसफुली कनेक्टेड है, तो ये रनिंग फेज में है अभी। तो currently I do not have to do anything. I just cross this and move to my workbench. So this is from here I can see the local instance of my server, which is named at MySQL 80, the host, which is my personal computer name, desktop, and this and the ports, and this is all other stuff. And this is my configuration file where MySQL is generally downloaded, and this is my currently status, how much traffic is there in my database current. So this is a very good platform to manage the database. So this is how workbench will look like. We will perform queries further in my as when I will cover the future topics. So this is how we can work with workbench. Now I will again open my slides. Is there any doubt till now?
No, there is not any doubt.
Okay. So now next is understanding SQL workbench. We have already covered. Now next is understanding SQL command line client. So now I will tell you. I will make a new file. So here you can see when I will click in this icon SQL and then plus, it will open a new file which is named as SQL file 5. And here you can see in this section, text area section, I can write any type of queries, SQL queries. So now I will write one query as show databases. So when I will write this query, so if I want to run all the queries once, all the queries, like if there are 10 to 15 queries written inside this file, and I want to run all the queries at the same time, then I will click on this. Here you can see this is the what I have to say, yellow color icon, uh, uh, current electricity icon, what I have to say. This is a yellow color icon. When I will press this, here you can, this in my query will execute, and here you can see how can I get confirmed that my query is successfully executed. Here you can see a green tick is shown to me. So by this green tick, we can be confirmed that my query is successfully executed. So now, if the case arises that in my file there are more than one query, then I want to run a particular query from the whole list of queries. Then at that time, I will select that query and press on this this icon, the yellow color icon with the I letter that is there upper to that. And then when I will click on this, here you can see another uh, this action output. In this action output dialog box, it is showing to me a green tick. So this is successfully executed. So this is how we can run the queries inside the MySQL workbench. So the same task which I am now doing with MySQL workbench, I can also do this with MySQL shell. So when you will click on this search icon and click on this MySQL 80 command line client. So when you will click this, you have to again re-enter that password which you have set up while installing the MySQL installer. So when you will again write that password, like I will enter it. Wait a minute. When you will enter the wrong password, it will be automatically closed. So when I will again click on this, enter. So here you can see when I have entered the password, now I am currently connected with my MySQL server. So MySQL server, I have connected with it. Wait a minute. Hmm. So now, so firstly, I will run some basic commands like uh, in this command line client, like system CLS. So this is a command to when you will enter this command with and then when you will press enter after writing this command, it will generally wipe out all the content that are written over the command line. So this is the basic command. Now I will again write that similar query which I have previously entered in MySQL Workbench, like show databases. So when I will press semicolon, then press enter. Here you can see these are the list of databases that we have seen when I have entered this query in my Workbench previously. So here you can see when I will select this query also from here, Workbench also, and press this icon. Here you can see this is the list of databases that I can see from this from my Workbench, MySQL Workbench. So this is how we can choose any of the platform, either Workbench or with command line shell. But as per my recommendation, it is very useful if we will practice initially with the command line client MySQL, because in industries, if I will practice with command line, then industries also the trend is to use the command line more than the use but then using Workbench. So we must follow the good practices, so it will be easy for us to build good tech stack knowledge and build our career path in our in industries. So now I will cross this out. Now I will move to my presentation. So now I have covered this SQL command line client, and next is mm, next is thank you. So this much I have to cover as per today's presentation. So up to SQL 01 and SQL 02, I have covered the most of the part related to theoretical theory. And from my next presentation, SQL 03, the practical part is more and then the theory part. So please be alert and try to understand more practically than the theory. So this much I have to cover for today. Thank you. If anyone feels any doubt, then he or she can ask.
Kisha, can you explain again the workbench you have बिल्कुल last में दिखाया था last वाला topic.
ओके ओके, मैंने ये कहा था कि जब आप MySQL इंस्टॉलर डाउनलोड करते हैं तो उसके साथ दो चीज़ें डाउनलोड होती है। एक MySQL वर्कbench डाउनलोड होता है, एक मेरा डाउनलोड होता है MySQL कमांड लाइन क्लाइंट। तो जब हम लोग जो SQL क्वेरीज परफॉर्म करते हैं वो किसी से भी कर सकते हैं, चाहे वर्कbench से करें चाहे कमांड लाइन क्लाइंट से करें। अगर हम वर्कbench से करते हैं तो हम ये सर्च करेंगे अपनी इस पे सर्च बॉक्स पे, एंड देन आफ्टर व्हेन आई विल क्लिक ऑन दिस, इट विल ओपन दी this MySQL workbench. When I will double click it, then after I will re-enter my password. तो हम लोग पासवर्ड एंटर करते हैं तो हम सक्सेसफुली अपने सर्वर के अंदर आ चुके हैं। सर्वर के अंदर हम लोग डेटाबेस क्रिएट करते हैं, डेटाबेस के अंदर हम लोग टेबल्स क्रिएट करते हैं। तो जब हम लोग इसमें आते हैं, तो जब हम इस पे कोई अगर क्वेरी हमको रन करानी है, तो जैसे मान लो हमें ये क्वेरी रन करानी है, तो फिर हम इस पे क्लिक करेंगे आइकन पे, ये मेरी क्वेरी सक्सेसफुली रन हो जाएगी। उसका आउटपुट यहाँ पे आप लोग देख सकते हैं। ये उसका आउटपुट है क्वेरी का। तो ये मेरे सारे डेटाबेस की लिस्ट है, और ये मेरा जो एक्शन आउटपुट में ये मुझे बता रहा है कि मेरा सक्सेसफुली जो हमने क्वेरी रन कराई वो सक्सेसफुली रन हुई है कि नहीं हुई है। तो ये टिक मार्क शो हो रहा है ग्रीन कलर में। तो यू कैन सो हियर यू कैन सी माय क्वेरी सक्सेसफुली रन। अब यही हम सेम काम MySQL शेल से भी कर सकते हैं। तो MySQL शेल में जब हम अपने इस पे कमांड लाइन पे विंडोज पे सर्च करेंगे MySQL 80 पॉइंट कमांड लाइन क्लाइंट, जब इस पे क्लिक करेंगे तो ये मेरा एक टर्मिनल विल बी ओपन, एंड व्हेन आई विल री एंटर दैट पासवर्ड अगेन, enter that password again. Here you can see now currently I am in inside the command inside my MySQL server, and when I will rewrite this command system.cls system clear screen, and I will press enter. Here you can see my all the data that is written inside the command line client is wipe out in one shot. So this, and then after when I will again write that query show data bases here inside this command line client and press enter. Here you can see the names of all the database in the form of table is shown to us inside this command line. So this much I have told. Is there anything else, Kushak? Your doubt is clear or not?
No, no, no. Everything is clear till now.
Okay. Rudransh or anyone else who's there in the meeting can ask
I
if
don't think
anyone feels.
Rudransh is available right now. He is going somewhere else.
Okay, wait a minute.